minutes, already about 30. Expressway going out 48 to Montrose. The Express will save you about 5. Hour 6 to O'Hare, and hour 10 to drive in. Eisenhower out 55 to Mannheim, and hour 20 if you're headed out towards Schaumburg and I-90. Coming in for the Jane Addams in hour 15, 38 to drive in from Mannheim. Stevenson going out 55 to the Tri-State, and hour 12 will get you out to 355, just under an hour in from the Veterans Tollway. Southside Expressways on the Dan Ryan going outbound to the Split, 45 minutes, 25 into downtown. 57 going out 18, 30 on the outbound side of the Ford, you're 18 to drive in. Usalva Lakeshore Drive packed where it usually is, but especially northbound heavy today from the Stevenson to Balboa. You have a down local and crews trying to get it out. The 2 right lanes remain blocked. Columbus, a good alternate, heavier.
So here it is, a crash
might be a little bit better.
up.
On the tollways, they're all pretty packed as well. A couple of trouble spots, though. One on the Tri-State North past Ogden, crash in the 2 left lanes, and southbound traffic from Half Day down to Lake Cook Road. That's a crash on the exit ramp. In northwest Indiana, a crash causing backups on 94 westbound near US 421 in Michigan City. Heavy traffic on both sides of 8094. Next report, 408 News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
All right, Neil, thanks so much. A gorgeous day today with a high near 80, a low tonight of 60. We'll get some rain from mid-morning on tomorrow with a high of 70. 78 now at O'Hare, 77 Waukegan, 67 Lake Friday.
Featuring the news that matters and breaking news at any time. This is Chicago's news, traffic, and weather station. News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Coming up in the next half hour on News Radio WBBM, Chicago Alderman questioned the head of a company looking to take over the city's parking meters.
This is Andy Dane, while the Illinois Secretary of State's office is pumping the brakes on a driving school with several locations.
Plus, rescue crews searching through debris for survivors after a massive earthquake in Venezuela. The latest on that from ABC News. Sports Cubs face the Mets. Sox are off ahead of hosting the Royals. In business,
I'm Erica Herskowitz at Bloomberg. A mixed session on Wall Street today. The Dow added 72 points. The Nasdaq fell 118.
Partly sunny skies. Winds out of the west now gusting at 20 miles an hour. We've got 78 degrees at 4 o'clock.
There you go. There's an accident.
From ABC News, I'm Chuck Severson. The deadly earthquakes over 7 magnitudes overnight in Venezuela leave at least 188 people dead, nearly 1,000 others injured as search and rescue operations continue.
We finally got out of the apartment, and it was chaos, Everybody, all my neighbors were on the street screaming and crying and yelling, It was terrible.
Armando Nori lives in hard-hit Caracas.
We are not prepared for this. We've been living under a government neglecting every aspect
right
of
at Roosevelt, northbound
life
Lakeshore Drive.
Past almost 30 years.
The U.S. is sending search and rescue crews from Los Angeles and Virginia. Iran attacked a ship in the Strait of Hormuz with a drone today, says a U.S. official. ABC's Louis Martinez covers the Pentagon.
What we have from a U.S. official is that, yes, there was an Iranian attack on a vessel that was carried out by an Iranian drone that caused some damage to the ship's bridge.
First attack since Iran and the U.S. signed that initial agreement. 7 arrests and 18
Two-car
police
accident
reports
at
are alleged by
Roosevelt,
the National Park
northbound.
Service. And what it claims was vandalism that led to the algae-filled and
4
sealer
p.m.
fleeking of the reflecting pond at the Lincoln
June
Memorial.
25th,
Also
2026.
alleging graffiti at the Washington Monument, and fuel lines cut at Great American State Fair. A federal judge has blocked part of a President Trump executive order that would mandate how states would run their mail-in voting operations. Supreme Court conservative majorities today ruled that the government can keep asylum seekers from entering the U.S. and can cancel the temporary protected status granted to Haitians and Syrians. Makes no sense, as Massachusetts Governor Maura Healey, a Democrat, saying immigrant families can be deported.
Who fled devastating earthquakes and violence in their own countries.
Similar argument being made by Ohio Governor Mike DeWine, Republican. You're listening to ABC News.
Let me tell you something. When you sign your insurance policy, for some brokers, that's the finish line. Handshake, commission, done. Then you may not hear from them again until it's time for renewal. Your business runs all year, and so do the gaps and the risk. That's why I'm introducing SuperSure. If your company has more than 25 employees, whether you're the owner, CFO, or HR manager, it can be too complex to just buy a policy online. SuperSure is the super agency built for you, licensed in every state for your business insurance and employee benefits, all all with year-round support for you and your team. At Supersure.com, you can access tools like fine print facts, which translates your current policy into plain English so you see what's covered and what's not. Plus, a business value calculator so you can estimate what your business is worth so you know what actually
we got another shutdown up there, too. Some construction going on, huh?
All your policies in one place.
So we got two things. We got a crash, and then we got this.
Paid for by Supersure Insurance Agency, LLC, a licensed insurance agency.
Chicago's news, traffic, and weather station. News Radio 105.9 and WBBMNewsRadio.com.
Gotta get over it.
It's 4:03, Thursday already, the 25th day of June. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Lisa Fielding. A gorgeous day it is today, 78 degrees, partly sunny skies. Right now we've got winds out of the west gusting at 20 miles an hour. A little cooler tomorrow before the heat is on, starting really Sunday and Monday into next week. We'll have the AccuWeather 5-day forecast coming up for you at 4:15. But first, we begin with the debate over the parking meter deal and how it affects you. An executive with the private equity group that wants to take over the parking meters fielded some pointed questions from aldermen today. They're all concerned about the group's other holdings. WBBM political editor Jeff Buchholz breaks it down.
James Weimer from Stone Peak Partners tried to strike a tone of accessibility as he began his appearance before the council's finance committee.
I'm available anytime. I guess this is being broadcast live, but I'll give all of you my cell phone.
This group wants to pay just over $2.5 billion for Chicago Parking Meters LLC, but some aldermen called out other branches of Stone Peak, including Omni Air, which runs deportation flights for the Department of Homeland Security. Andre Vasquez represents the Northwest Side.
There's nothing about anything this organization and company is doing that anyone should want to be a part of.
Weimer said an active sale of Omni Air is in process and said DHS actions under the Trump administration, as he put it, could not be more abhorrent.
If there was anything I could be doing, I want to say it to your face, I am doing it.
Vasquez noted Omni was handling deportation flights long before the current administration.
I appreciate the bleeding heart right now. Y'all weren't doing that when you decided to buy it.
Council must vote up or down on the sale to Stone Peak by the end of next month. We're at City Hall. Jeff Buchholz, News Radio 105.9. WBBM.
Driving school with several Chicago area locations have been shut down.
State officials forcing a responsible driver to hit the brakes, closing the driving school's locations in both LaGrange and Hinsdale. The Illinois Secretary of State's office argued in court earlier this year that Brian Kearney of Willowbrook, the owner of a responsible driver, wasn't being responsible. He's accused of failing to hire valid driving instructors, having liability insurance on training vehicles or state safety certification, and in some cases, failing to show up to driving classes. Documents obtained by Patch show in one such incident, Kearney told his landlord he overslept, and that after asking a judge to delay closing the school, a request that was granted, he failed to show up to the next court hearing. A report from state leaders reads in part, Kearney is engaging in reckless behavior. He's putting his students and the general public at risk. Andy Daniels, Radio 105.9 WBBM.
So we got that crash over by Roosevelt. Then we got something else going on over here. What are they doing here? Oh, doing some light work there, right? Maybe it's broken or something. There you go. They're doing some light work over at Balboa Drive, right? There you go. Maybe they could have done that at night. Who knows? It's the way the city operates. They're inconsiderate of its own residents.
In its 20 years of service, the Pink Line has provided more than 170 million rides, connecting Chicagoans and visitors to the city's west side. CTA Acting President Nora Learson.
Our commitment to this corridor is stronger than it has ever been, because this train doesn't just pass through the West Loop, the Illinois Medical District, North Lawndale, Little Village, and right here in Pilsen. It's woven
doing traffic light work out here on Lakeshore Drive at Balboa. 4:06 p.m. Maybe they can do this at another time. But I guess that's the way the city operates. June 25th.
Police say the victims were standing outside Hastings and Troop on the near west side when someone pulled up in a black car and began shooting before taking off. Shortly after 3 a.m. near Fosville Park, police say a 59-year-old woman went to the hospital in critical condition initially, while the 24-year-old man was in fair condition and a 43-year-old woman in good condition. As of the end of last week, police data shows there have been 34 shootings in the 12th district so far this year. That's up 6% over this time last year. Nancy Hardy, News Radio 105.9 WBBM. And thousands still remain without power in Illinois and Indiana after last night's storms knocked down trees and caused widespread damage. Over in southwest suburban Plainfield, some residents are also experiencing low water pressure, while others say 27th Street to the north and south of Route 30 and neighborhood Plainfield Road to the east and west. As for power outages, ComEd says less than 750 residents are affected at this point. NIPSCO reports more than 15,000 residents are still without power. It's 4:08. Traffic and weather together on the 8th. We've got a beautiful 8 today, so no storm watches or warnings at this point, but we'll head to the road to see what's going on there, Neil.
Yeah, Lisa, the expressways are seeing red for sure. Super high travel times really across the board, and a couple of obstacles on the Edens outbound. You're heavy from Peterson to Dempster. Crash getting cleaned up on the shoulder. 32 out, you're 52 minutes to drive in. A nasty delay building on the Kennedy, worse than normal coming inbound. Before Cumberland to past Irving Park Road, you're at a crawl. That's a crash in the left center lane. 2 vehicles are involved. We appreciate the calls here from Nancy and Harry. The WBBM Mercedes-Benz of Hoffman Estates traffic tip line 855-780 Road. So the Kennedy inbounds close to an hour 15 from O'Hare into downtown, going outbound an hour 10 to the airport. On the Eisenhower out, an hour 23 to the Jane Addams, you're an hour 15 in. Stevenson getting out to the Veterans Tollway, an hour 12:56 inbound. On the Dan Ryan, expect 43 out and 25 in. I-57 going out 20, 30 on the outbound Ford, 16 to drive inbound. The South Lakeshore Drive pretty packed on either side, especially northbound, passing the Stevenson to Belleville. You have crews dealing with a down light pole. It's been there for a while. 2 right lanes still blocked. Columbus is really heavy. You might want to use Michigan Avenue instead. Across the tollways are all pretty active. A couple of issues, though, on the tri-state. Southbound at Lakewood Road, big crash on the exit ramp, and that makes it heavy from Town Line Road. Northbound traffic continues from the Hinsdale Oasis to past Ogden. Crash cleanup on the right shoulder. We have roadwork delays on Route 53 in the northwest burbs. Also in the southwest suburbs, big delays on I-80 on either side through Joliet. A lot of road work in that area as well, pretty much between Holbrook and Briggs, and then eastbound traffic a little slow getting through Tinley Park. Northwest Indiana, you are full on 80-94 on both sides. Crash clear to Michigan City on I-94 westbound or on US 421, getting a little bit better through that area. From the Metro Traffic Center, next report 418 News Radio 105.9.
The rest of today, plenty of sunshine, warm with a high near 80, a low tonight of 60. Cloudy tomorrow, maybe some mid-morning rain. Cooler with a high only of 70. Saturday warming up though, with highs near 80. Could reach upper 80s by Sunday and into next week, even mid-90s. We'll check in with the AccuWeather 5-day forecast coming up in about 5 minutes here on the Market Watch. The Dow holding on to gains today in the final hour, but NASDAQ still lost ground today. The numbers, specifically the NASDAQ down 118. It's 410.
Hi, I'm Jack Arnold from Arnold Electric. And I'm Jack of All Trades. Jack, exercising myself. Why would I exercise my brains? Most people don't think their logical decades make this. It's in a box. Copper contacts currently. And if they don't move freely, the breaker might not reset.
Connection is jumping.
It is 411, another
Walking down Michigan Avenue right now, based on the crowds out here today, it's no surprise Chicago just had a record-breaking year for tourism. Choose Chicago says the city welcomed 56.8 million visitors in 2025, generating a record $21.5 billion in spending and supporting more than 135,000 local jobs. That's nearly 1.5 million more visitors than the year before.
When visitors come to Chicago, they are spending money.
Choose Chicago CEO Kristen Reynolds says the
5% moderate increase is great because it's stabilization, we're on the right track, and we feel like we can continue to build.
Doing some weird shit. Yeah, that guy is messed up, that bus, right? I think that's the same company that crashed.
As the birthplace of the skyscraper to international travelers, 92% of leisure visitors say they plan to return.
And then the license plate is
Glenn Marshall, News Radio 105.9, WBBM.
One western suburb getting ready to celebrate America's 250th in style. The city of Aurora will host its 4th of July fireworks celebration on Friday, July 3rd at Ray Ridge Park and McCullough Park. The display is expected to launch at dusk. Beautiful day, and we may get some heat coming toward the end of the weekend. The AccuWeather 5-day forecast coming up.
Stay on top of the news. Sign up for WBBM's daily newsletter. Up-to-date information delivered right to your inbox. Click on the Sign Up tab on WBBMNewsRadio.com and sign up today.
I'm a wife and the mother of 2 kids. And when I get to work in the precinct house and put on my uniform, I can tell you, as a police officer, we're building partnerships. This should be happening everywhere. So the police should be reaching out to this community. And this community should reach out to the police. That's the way to make this a safer place.
Start the conversation and help stop crime. To learn the 5 things you can do, go to ncpc.org/prevent violent crime. A message from the National Crime Prevention Council and the Bureau of Justice Assistance.
Now this message from Kalshi.
The world's biggest soccer tournament, it's here, and you can trade the entire tournament on Kalshi. On Kalshi, you can trade every match from the opening stage all the way to the final. How about this, Team USA? 43% to best turkey later this week, meaning a $100 trade pays out $223.63 if Team USA beats Turkey. On Kalshi, you're trading against peers in a live market. That means there's no house. And as the probability changes, you can buy in and out of your position. For a limited time, you download the Kalshi app. You use the code CHOICE to get $10 when you trade 10. KALSH on Kalshi. Trade the beautiful game.
All right, let's get out of here. So as you heard, there was a triple shoot. So you got crime chasers and the mayor talking about $100 million. He's giving $150 million to businesses for grants. Yet we traveled yesterday. SubX.News on the spot reporting, 4:14 p.m. I'm going straight into it. I'm not even going to slow down. So yesterday, you seen Lincoln Avenue was empty. So where's the $150 million? The $150 million has nothing to do with business development, helping business. It's a bribe for votes. It has nothing to do. The $100 million they want for the gun violence, that's a bribe. It has nothing to do. Think about it. If you give somebody $100 million today, do you think it's going to stop the violence tomorrow? Absolutely not. No way. For $100 million to go down into the community, I've used to do government contracts. You know how long that takes? It takes at least a year to get that out down to the street. And if these guys are fast, the way the CTU does, they're thieves. They do cash payments so you can't track it. They did that before with Brandon's campaign. They did cash payments, illegal cash payments. They never went to prison. Jason Lee did that stuff on the west side when he was running for commissioner the first time. Yeah, they know that. They also transferred $500,000 from the union to Brandon illegally. They never did nothing about that. Why? Because the state's controlled by the same people. It doesn't matter. So the point I'm trying to make here is $150 million in business grants, $100 million they want for teen trends and gun violence. You just heard a triple shooting on the west side in Little Italy. That ain't gonna stop no shooting. How about the lady that was shot in the face? I didn't even get a chance to check that because they blocked me from getting that information. So now they're blocking news agencies from getting information. You can't even do the proper reporting. So do you think a woman shot in the face is going to be helped by $100 million? Absolutely not. No way. Do you think teen trends are going to stop with $100 million? Absolutely not. Do you think a triple shooting in Little Village is going to stop? No. Do you think Lincoln Avenue that you seen when it was completely abandoned yesterday is going to be miraculously filled? Absolutely not. It's all fake. It's a straight bribe to vote for Brandon Johnson. That's all it is. It is nothing more, nothing less. He's just buying votes. Buying votes. And frequency mode. He's going to get away with it because they run the whole state. That's the problem. I'm going to look up the shooting from yesterday. Yeah, I missed this.
Units at 19 Citywide, we have a person with a 94448 North Ashland, Apartment 1. Caller says there's a male white, female white in front of her door arguing. Unknown weapons, but she believes someone stated they had a knife. Unknown for sure. No further.
And people might say, oh, John, you're always talking about the same thing. Well, it is the same thing. We can't get out of the cycle we're in unless we fix it. I had some people negatively commenting on lock exit doors. Why would you negative comment on an exit door lock with a padlock, which is illegal under state, county, and city laws and rules? Illegal. It's a killing. When you lock a door, it's a kill device, meaning people die when you lock exit doors. You get charged with manslaughter. If you lock a door and somebody dies, it's a manslaughter charge. That's what it is. Imagine this. There's people who actually commented against padlock pictures that show a padlock door. They said, you're no good, you're stupid, you're da-da. I don't even get that. Bizarre. Completely bizarre behavior, or they're paid by Brandon Johnson. Maybe they're getting a bag. Who knows? I don't know anymore. I have to do all of those FOIA requests like I talked about yesterday, me and Sal. It's bizarre. You show something that might kill somebody, that there's laws against it, and they say that it's some weird, they use some derogatory, nasty swear words at me on that commenting. Nasty. And then you go to their profile and they're promoting drugs, gangs, and pornography. Seriously. Drugs, gangs, and pornography on their page. Selfies of them half naked. Like, really? You have some integrity there? I don't think so, man. And then you know what the worst people are on the internet? They combine their baby pictures with drugs and porno. You ever see them? Oh, there's a ton of them. And that's all races. White, Asian, Hispanic, black. They have babies or children with them as they're doing pornos and as they're doing drugs. Go look at some of these profiles. Look at them. They should be locked up for that stuff. That's bizarre behavior. That means what? You're connecting your child to possibly illegal and dangerous activities in the public. Yeah, I think you should be locked up. I don't think you should have kids. Maybe not locked up, but maybe you shouldn't have kids around you. That's about it. So that's what I'm saying there. So I was talking to some people today, and I'm like, if I had the resources, I'd track down every one of these profiles. And I get it. There's some people who are natural. Hey, I don't like this. They swear, they do this. I swear. I get it. I understand that. We get emotional about certain topics. I understand that to the fullest extent. And I believe in the First Amendment. I went to the federal court for First Amendment. There's a case with my name on it for First Amendment rights. And I won my case. I won my case. That's why I don't understand the police now with me messing with me and filming. I already won one First Amendment case against the Chicago Public Schools, and now they're trying to go against me for another filming. So I don't know what that's about. I mean, my first case, which happened in, I think it was in, I forget now what year it was. Maybe 20? No, it was 18 maybe. I don't know when it was. I gotta double check it. It clearly states he's a reporter. You just can check my name through the internet. So now you have another set of prosecutors. Oh, wait. Eileen Burke, right? Eileen Burke. Who says you shouldn't prosecute and you should film ICE agents. You know she's going against ICE, right? You heard the story yesterday, right? I told you got to watch for her. Didn't you hear the story yesterday? I'm talking about corruption on the city, in the county. Eileen Burke is the prosecutor that people voted for instead of Kim Fox, right? And you say, oh, she's better. I'm saying she's not. So yesterday, if you listen to the stories, was what? They said there was a way to track ICE activity. ICE was tracking cases through what? Domestic violence or release of prisoners. And there had to be a notification system to notify the victims that this guy or this woman's being released. And they were tracking illegals through that system. So, if we voted for somebody that was called Eileen Burke, who says she's for law and order, and she wants criminals to be taken care of, which one is illegal aliens, then why would she look into how ICE is getting information about illegals? That was yesterday's story. I don't know if anybody caught that one. I catch those stories. Again, yesterday, Eileen Burke made a statement. She will stop ICE's ability to use third-party software that notifies victims when criminals are getting out of jail, and it's designated as what? Illegal migrants. So think about this. Think about how corrupt Eileen Burke is and how she tricked everybody to vote for her. Think about this. These are illegals. They're illegal aliens. We're not talking about innocent Americans or criminal felons in America. We're not talking about Americans. It's a straight illegal alien story. You can look it up. They talked about it yesterday. So these guys are already in the country illegally. Second, they're in the criminal justice system. So they did some illegal activity. Innocent or not, proven guilty. I get that. You have your right in court. We do. But not only that, they have victims. What I'm talking about is a victim notification system. So that means they harmed somebody or endangered somebody, good or bad. You got your day in court. I get that. You got your day in court. We understand. We're on Rush Street here, right? Pretty nice, huh? That's Gibson's next to us. I don't know what's across the street. And it's pretty full here, right? It's nice. I don't know. Some of those tables ain't. So, think about this one more time. Eileen Burke wants to stop ICE getting information about illegal aliens that are in the criminal justice system that have harmed people and have victims. She wants to stop that. So is she your friend? Absolutely not. She is your enemy. She is worse than Kim Fox. She's worse because she lied about it. That's what makes her worse than Kim Fox. Kim Fox, she's always been anti-police. She's an abolisher. Says, I'm pro-criminal. It's billions of years of slavery. Slavery, blah, 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 blah. Colonizer, slavery, DeSable Drive, all that gibberish, right? LGBTQ, right? Gaza. Right? It's all the gibberish. It's all blocked together, right? They all do the gibberish talk, right? It's gibberish. That's what Kim Fox used to do. She never hid what she said. Now, in the end, when she got out of office, she said, we shouldn't have released some of those exonerated criminals. You heard about that one about a month or two ago, right? CWB reported on that. Yeah, she said we shouldn't have released some people. They were the killers. You don't remember that one? Kim Fox admitted that we released people that should never have been released. They actually did the crime. They murdered people. And they got payments by the city of Chicago. We should look into that, right? So, you have a person that we got rid of out of office. There was a whole operation to get rid of Kim Fox. A lot of the internet helped with that, right? So then you had a lady, Eileen Burke, who says, I'm going to be better, I'm going to be law and order, I believe in victims' rights and all of this. So imagine, she even says that, I believe in victims' rights. Remember, they lied about the double-digit increase in domestic abuse cases that just came out this January, right? So she lied about that. So now imagine this, twofold. Illegal aliens that are in the criminal justice system that have victims. She wants to stop ICE from getting those guys. So they're already illegally in the country. They're breaking the law and they're harming people. And she wants to protect them from ICE. She said that yesterday on the news. Yesterday, right? So not only that, but think about this. So let's take that illegal migrant thing out of the eye picture. Let's say, okay, whatever. So she wants to protect people who harm people, who should not be in the country, who can be picked up by ICE and deported. And we don't have to spend no money in the court system or the jail system. Deport them. Send them to, where's that country? Ecuador? Where they have that Supermax prison, send them over there. Maybe we do. Maybe we send them to Ecuador and we do remote video court cases. Send them over there. Give that guy in Ecuador, give him 10 grand and say, here's 10 grand for each prisoner we send you. Get rid of him. But think about that. Think about how corrupted of a person Eileen Burke, a corrupted white liberal. She's a corrupt white liberal who's a criminal lover. She is. She loves criminals. She's a liar. And she's a scumbag. She said this yesterday on the radio, and you can play it back. She wants to protect criminal aliens who are inside of the criminal justice system, who have harmed people, who have victimized people, and she doesn't want them deported. That's Eileen Burke's statement yesterday. Look it up on the radio. Look it up on my video. I have my video from yesterday. Listen to the story. I'll get you the transcript of what she says. I'll get it for you tonight on an article. That's the people who are running our city. Those are the very dangerous individuals who protect criminals who should not even be in our country, who victimize people, and then make some statements that she's going to protect them so they don't get deported. That's what we heard yesterday. Let's listen to 430 News. Yeah, SubX.News. We're on it today. Yeah, we ain't taking no prisoners today. I can't have that music playing, right? Alrighty, I gotta get to the radio, right? It's 4:30. How do we get that? Alright, there we go. Now 4:30 News. Oh, what's this? Oh, man.
Let's get $0 installation. Limited time only. Summertime is hot tub time. Get factory cash
there we
back,
go.
plus 0% financing for 60 months.
So look at that.
Summer starts at great
walking past the homeless guy there. See the homeless guy there?
Chicago's news traffic.
See the homeless guy right there?
News Radio 105.9.
See that there? There's a homeless guy right there. Look at that. See that there?
4:30. Good afternoon. I'm Lisa Fielding. Here are the top stories on News Radio WBBN. Mayor Brandon Johnson signs an executive order to create a mayoral office aimed at reducing gun violence.
This is Mike Krauser. Some early success reported in adding sheriff's officers to the law enforcement mix focused on public transit safety.
A man is charged with sexually assaulting a 6-year-old girl on Chicago's
So
South
what
Side.
did Brandon do? We're going to listen. He's creating an executive order, just like President Trump, bypassing city council.
Sports Cubs take on the Mets tonight in New York.
You just heard it. Here's the news. It's coming up.
A mixed day on Wall Street. The Dow gained 72 points.
$100 million office.
America Who's the Wits.
He does it through executive order. Why? So it doesn't have to be approved by the city council.
31. Sponsored by the Griffin Museum of Science and Industry. Chicago Mayor Johnson says his latest executive order that creates a formal office dedicated to reducing gun violence is designed to improve the city's public safety response. WBBM political editor Jeff Buckles talked to the mayor before this morning's signing ceremony.
Many different departments do similar things.
And the mayor tells me the creation of the Mayor's Office of Gun Violence Reduction is designed to streamline and integrate all of those safety-related activities.
It's going to allow for an advisory council to have the type of insight on the ground to make government far more nimble.
And City Council's expected to consider an ordinance soon that would make the office a cabinet-level department like streets and sand or transportation. The mayor says he supports that. Where do you find the money for this kind of an approach?
I'm going to continue to work with City Council, with the state legislature, and every level of government to challenge these big corporations to put more skin in the game because it's a matter of life and death.
So corporations are the ones doing gun violence.
Will lead the office. We're with the mayor at City Hall, Jeff Buckles. News Radio 105.9.
Corruption.
WBBN.
Now to the latest on the parking meter deal. Chicago aldermen heard today from leaders of the private equity group that's poised to pay more than $2.5 billion to take over the city's parking meters. James Wiper from Stone Peak Partners told the Finance Committee today that he and his fellow investors believe taking over the controversial meter contract is a lucrative investment as well as a vote of confidence for the city.
What we're here to discuss today is, candidly, whether or not you all think we will be a better owner than the existing owner, if you really were to boil it down.
But several aldermen questioned Stone Peak's ownership of other companies, including a charter air service that handles migrant transport for the Department of Homeland Security. And others accused Mayor Johnson's office of deliberately hiding details of the proposed transaction, including the city's failed bid to buy out the meter contract. The council must vote on the planned sale by the end of next month. An arrest is made in a case that involves the sexual assault of a young girl in Chatham.
Chicago police say it happened Saturday night in the 100 block of West 87th Street. 41-year-old James Spencer accused of pretending to fall down and while bracing himself, grabbing and sexually assaulting a 6-year-old girl who was with her mother. Spencer was taken into custody this week at his home in Englewood. He's now charged with aggravated criminal sexual abuse of a victim under the age of 13. Andy Dane, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Well, the last month here in the Chicagoland area and in northwest Indiana, we've had a lot of severe weather. And it's caused lots of flooding, power outages, and damage in northwest Indiana, especially overnight, including in the town of Griffith. NIPSCO says more than 15,000 homes and businesses still have no power.
We're on the north end of Broad Street in Griffith, close to traffic with power lines down and poles leaning over the road. Throughout this area, large trees came down on houses and vehicles. The streets are covered with debris. The siding on some homes is peppered with vegetation and other debris. We've seen large trees resting on roofs. The roots pulled up large sections of grass in the parkway. We met Brian Blank checking out the damage.
Lights flickered a little bit, and before we knew it, couldn't see more than a foot out of the window. Pretty big straight line winds. Some of these trees that went down, it was here and then it was gone. Yeah, I mean, the hail stuck around for a while. It looked like it snowed for a bit.
Power was knocked out. Generators are humming. There's the sound of chainsaws. Temporary stop signs were put up at traffic lights. In Griffith, Mike Krauser, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Around the world at 4:35, an Iranian drone apparently has hit a ship in the Strait of Hormuz. The attack prompted the UN's International Maritime Organization to suspend their escorts of ships through the area. ABC's Luis Martinez says this may be an indication that negotiations and the Memorandum of Understanding between the U.S. and Iran are on shaky ground.
Very tenuous situation because over those 60 days that the United States and Iran are supposed to be negotiating further movement towards an eventual full agreement, there's a lot of instability about what could actually happen. So in previous instances prior to that Memo of Understanding, what we did see is that the United States would sometimes carry out retaliatory strikes against some of the Iranian positions that would attack some of the shipping through the Strait of Hormuz. But
forget the Hormuz. That's a sideshow. That whole thing is a sideshow. Iran is a sideshow for the bad economy. We were tanking. He bombed them. We didn't get nothing out of it. It's a sideshow. Oh, we're going to have lower gas prices after it's over. What do you mean? We were at $2 a gallon before the bombing. I have the pictures of it. Don't you remember? I had $1.98 or $1.89 somewhere. I was out in some suburbs and I was under $2 gas. Last year I had under $3 gas down over in I forget where it was. There you go, man. What you got? You got cops all over here, right? Look at that. You got police officers everywhere, man. There's cops everywhere. Why do you need an Office of Gun Control if gun violence is down? That doesn't even make sense. See, everybody gives those people money. Tourists, she gets money from tourists. See that there? They exploit their children. See that? It's like child exploitation, right? Think about it. Why do we need an Office of Gun Violence if gun violence is down? It doesn't even make sense, does it? That's weird, right? Think about it. He's been saying violence is down. It's down. It's down. Oh, now we need an office specifically for gun violence. Like, what? That don't even make sense, bro. And he's getting away with it. He just signed an executive order. He just did it today. He's going to get his, I'm telling you, he's going to get his $100 million. You'll see. And he's going to use it all for the elections. And using executive orders. Same with Eileen Burke. She's stopping ICE from what? Deporting criminals that harm Americans. Imagine that. Imagine we have a prosecutor who said she was going to protect the citizens of Cook County because Kim Fox didn't, who is now blocking ICE agents from getting information about abusers, huh? Those are domestic abusers. Those cases are about a domestic abuser. Imagine that. She's a white liberal woman who's allowing illegal aliens to abuse possibly American citizens and blocking ICE from them being deported. You can't even make that story up. That's an impossible story for you to even imagine in your brain. That someone who's elected to protect us, to protect women from abusers, she's blocking the federal government from deporting illegal migrant abusers that are in the criminal justice system. Huh? There you go. That's Eileen Burke. Yeah, she tricked everybody, didn't she? She said, don't vote for that black man. Don't you remember it was black versus white? Guess what? If you voted for that black dude, it would have been the same thing. They're all the same. Junulius, Susan Mendoza. Who else is, well, I don't even know who else is running. They're all the same. All them people are the same. They're the same political party, man. There ain't no difference. Here are these guys, right? How many guys are out here today? Yeah, the other day was 7 of them, right? How many are out here today? You want to count? How many are in front of this 7-Eleven here? We got, oh man, look at that. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 people right in front of one 7-Eleven. Why are there all so many people there? That's strange, isn't it? Then we were just, you guys seen the videos. Oh, I don't post the videos too much on Facebook. I really don't. Because of fight videos, they get you banned. I don't know, some people do it, some people don't. They just had a bunch of fights right here last night. And 2 nights in a row, right here. Now they have a security officer who sits right at that door because they had shootings here at this Taco Bell. I need to figure out what's in that building, why there's so much criminal activity, right? How they sit there, right? That dude's there's a dude that's jacked up. He's right there, man. See that guy? He's jacked up in the red there. See that guy right there? He's jacked up, man. He's laughing and doing weird stuff with his body, man. And that's what you get. And if you do something, they say you're breaking the law, right? There's a bunch of migrants over there. That's migrants right there. See those guys? Those are migrants. Gone. That's some drug dealers there, right? The guy, the vendor is gone. The fentanyl guy is gone. The old guy, right? Alright, this is some radio calls. How about that? It's enough of my talking, right? Remember, Eileen Burke is worse than Kim Fox. Why? She lied. Eileen Burke is worse. She let a lot of migrants out already that kill people. She's responsible. I was in court the other day. Let a migrant go, and she's prosecuting me. I'm going to send her a letter. It's directly to Eileen Burke. You're prosecuting me under First Amendment rights. I thought you were protecting our rights.
Got a number for Jefferson Park in the Blue Line Station. This is 08631. 3 Adam. 83 David. 83 Adam. David. 83 David Squad, number 469 red line. Alright, take a hit number 08637 08636. 7387 boy.
What's the best price you can do total? What's the best price you can do total?
08637.
Sustained damage. Buildings were evacuated in cities and areas were impacted as far as Brazil's Amazon, about 1,000 miles from Venezuela's capital. Acting President Delcy Rodriguez declared a state of emergency. The earthquakes, among the strongest to strike Venezuela in more than a century, occurred shortly after 6 p.m. local time. I'm Karen Shamas.
Supreme Court blocking thousands of lawsuits against the maker of Roundup weed killer.
The suits allege Roundup manufacturer Bayer did not warn users the weed killer could cause cancer. The case went to the High Court after Bayer faced some ruled the company cannot be sued in state courts because federal regulations have found the cancer risk unlikely. It's a win for the Trump administration, but could be tricky politically, since some allies of the America Healthy Again movement want to rein in pesticide use.
see if that works, right? It's jumping again, my video. So we'll see how good it works. Did you guys hear the other story out from Ohio or California or something?
We don't know, 35th.
Did you hear that one where the DEA agents let fentanyl into cities? DEA agents let fentanyl go into our country, and it specifically says in the DEA or somewhere in the department regs, there shall be zero tolerance for no fentanyl should be allowed in any part of our society. They allowed like thousands of pills to come into our country because they said they wanted to bust the bigger dealer. That's under Trump. That's President Trump. That ain't Biden. That ain't Obama. That was President Trump. Yeah. Do we hear anybody going to jail on that one? It's like Ms. Zidor says. They're all the same. And let's get some radio calls, right? Let's see what's going on here, right? Yeah, the scarecrow comment. Yeah, the kids out here today, huh?
For Red Line Park. Number 08688.
We got the kids out on the milk crate, huh? That's a sad state of affairs. But hey, man, I guess he's with his kids, so. I'm no judgment thing, but yeah, I don't know if that's should be doing that. But hey, everybody can raise their children however they want. All right, we're gonna go to some radio calls, see if we missed anything. Eileen Burke, look up that stuff. I'm gonna dig you up that stuff from yesterday. Look it up.
Event number for Skyway.
Extremely dangerous person, because she lies. Here, I'll say this one more time. She's more dangerous than Kim Fox. Kim Fox, at least, didn't lie. She said what she believed in and what she did it. Eileen Burke is a liar. Remember that Malcolm X's saying, I'll trust a white conservative any day, because I know who he is instead of the white liberal who smiles at me. You got the difference? Got that. Kim Fox never lied who she was. She never did. She told you what she was about. Eileen Burke lies. Yeah. I'm going to leave it there. She's a very dangerous individual.
383 Charlie. 783 Charlie. Group 79 over the line. 08320. 08320. 7383 item. 83 item. Have one for Clark, Division Red Line. Take it 08323. 08323.
1391 Charlie.
91 Charlie, go.
Can I get an event at Cermak Green, please?
08331. 08331.
87 Adam.
87 Adam.
Driving bus 1312 on 79 eastbound.
Your radio's breaking up. I don't know if somebody's trying to cut you out or what. 79, we're going eastbound.
Coming on bus 1312 going eastbound on 79 from Wellcott.
08345. 08345. 94 boy. 94 boy, guy. 94 boy, can I have a number for Cermak Road, please? Sure, 08357.
Unit 19 Cityway, we have a person with a 94448 North Ashland, apartment 1. Closest, there's a male white, female white in front of her door arguing. Unknown weapons, but she believes someone stated they had a knife. Unknown for sure. The phone keeps breaking out. No further. Zone 2 clear.
383 Henry.
7383.
Number for the red line in Chicago.
Zero 8381. Cook County states in their position of filming in public, police doing their work.
Event squad and Howard in the red, please.
08396.
89 Good number for the Cicero Blue.
08406.
383 David.
What are you doing?
383 David.
83 David.
Red line down 69.
08411.
3 John.
7350. 7350. Position of videotaping law enforcement officers, especially about ICE and other.
7383 John.
83 John, got.
Get out, event for the red line, hours over.
Take event 08424.
387 Charlie.
87 Charlie.
Numbers for southbound Ashland from 51st, bus 8079, please.
Take event 08432.
738.
Got 2 units over there.
383 Edward Boy.
83 out of boy.
Can I get one number for 95th Street red line, north side?
Take event 08443. 08443.
Where are you? 7388 Anna.
88 Adam.
Can we get a number for Rollman in the blue line station?
Take event 08451. 08451.
389 Adam.
89 Adam.
89 Adam. Can I get a number for Blaski blue line?
Sure, 08501. 08501. 7383 Frank.
Okay, numbers for Cermak and red line, please.
Sure, 08510. 08510.
383 Eddie.
7383 Eddie.
Can we get a number for upper 75th rail line?
You are 79? Rail line?
37.
Alright, that number 08521. 08521.
389 boy.
89 boy.
Heading train from Clinton westbound. Blue line, car number 7044.
08540.
Thank you. What did you say, 89 Adam?
89 Adam.
Number for the Ketchy blue line,
County
50 home.
State's Attorney is going to stop ICE's ability Take event to get 08545. databases that inform victims of perpetrators who are illegal aliens.
383 Charlie.
83 Charlie.
Platform 79 and red line.
08592. 08596.
387.
7387.
For platform check. Red line 69th Street.
08599. 08599.
383 John.
83 John.
Can you get the number for red line?
Eileen Burke. loves illegal criminals.
Yeah, 08620, 7387, boy. 87, boy. Okay, number, please. Bus number 8641, westbound, 50 row, and visible. 08625, 08625. 7388, Adam. 88, Adam. Got a number for Jefferson Park in the Blue Line Station. This is 08631. 3 Adam. 83 David. 83 Adam. David. 83 David Squad. Number 469 red line. I take a bit. Number 08637. 08637. 7387, boy. What was that event number again?
That's Sears Tower, right?
Yes, 08625, 08625. 83 Adam and boy. 83 Adam, boy. Okay, one number for 93rd Street Red Line on the south end. 08660, 08660. 10-4, thank you. 8380. 83 Eddie, go. Can we get a car over here? We on 35th in the red line. Can we get a car over here for an auto accident involving a CTA bus?
Yeah, anybody in? Blocks 30 party ice.
You get the red line on 35th Street? 4. Alright, so 5 should come up in the same.
Cook on the State Church and Charlie. Block 30 party ice operation.
Put up that number for a bus ride 63rd and Ashland northbound, bus 1480, please.
Think of that number 08679, 08679. 83 item. 83 item. For red line, Clark and Vision. Think of that number 08688, 08688. 3211. 3211. Event number for Skyway. 08697. 389 89 Adam. Can I get a number for the medical district blue line? 08723, 08723. 7341. Sorry, what unit? 341. Can I get a station check for taking late? Think of that number 08729, 08729. 3 Henry. 7383 Henry. Number for the Chicago Avenue Red Line Station. Think of that number 08735, 08735. 89 boy. 89 boy. Give me a number for a platform check, please. UIC Hall Set Blue.
Brandon Johnson bypasses voters in the city council, creating a new department of gun violence.
612, all units in 6 and citywide. We have a test in progress. 112 West 87th Street, 112 West 87th Street at the Dollar Tree. Caller reporting 2 male blacks. One with an afro wearing a tan sweatshirt, gray sweatpants. Stealing. They'd like to sell candy right outside the store. Nothing further.
8387 to Charlie.
87 Charlie.
Bus ride 53rd in Ashland northbound, bus 1438.
So he can use the money to pay for his re-election bid.
08797, 08797. 8383 Charlie. 83 Charlie. I got one for 79 red line platform. 08811, 08811. 7388 Adam. 88 Adam. Please pull a number for our trip mission. We're at Montrose in the blue line. 08813, 08813. 389 Adam. 89 Adam. Can I get a number for Kesey Home on Blue? 08817, 08817. 88 boy. 88 boy. Boarding, train 712A going east from Jefferson Park. 08819, 08819.
Alright, ready to get out of here? Let's listen to 5 o'clock news, eh?
Half hour on News Radio WBBM. Governor Pritzker signs several bills that take aim at junk fees and affordability for Illinois residents. Chicago aldermen question the potential buyer of the city's parking meters. Plus, search and rescue missions continue in Venezuela. Earthquakes have left at least 188 people dead so far. Latest coming up from ABC News. Sports, Cubs taking on the Mets, and the Sox are off.
I'm Erica Herskowitz at Bloomberg. A mixed session on Wall Street today. The Dow added 72 points. The Nasdaq fell 118.
Beautiful night tonight. Partly cloudy, a low of 60, 78. Partly sunny right now at 5 o'clock.
From ABC News, I'm Chuck Severson. The Venezuelan earthquakes leave at least 188 people dead. Nearly 1,000 others injured as search and rescue operations continue. Armando Nori lives in hard-hit Caracas. His family fled their apartments.
2 hours later, I came back, to grab some things like coats and water. And I saw the whole thing. It was destroyed inside.
An official with the International Rescue Committee, Karen Donnellan.
We have a team in Venezuela. We've been working there for over 40 years. Our Venezuelan colleagues, after having spent last night sleeping in the open for fear of further aftershocks, they've regrouped this morning and are already beginning assessment efforts, working with local Venezuelan civil society organizations to understand where the greatest needs are and how we can best support them in that effort.
The U.S. is sending search and rescue crews from Los Angeles and Virginia. A federal judge has blocked part of a President Trump executive order that would mandate how states would run their mail-in voting operations. Supreme Court conservative majorities today ruled that the government can keep asylum seekers from entering the U.S. and can cancel the temporary protected status granted to Haitians and Syrians.
This was a decision over a policy from the first Trump administration to shut the door at ports of entry across the southern border to prevent migrants from even stepping foot on U.S. soil.
ABC's Devin Dwyer. It makes no sense, says Massachusetts Governor Maura Healey, a Democrat.
The Supreme Court and Donald Trump are attacking legal immigrants who've done everything right to be a part of this country for more than a decade.
Similar argument being made by Ohio Governor Mike DeWine, a Republican, saying Haitians in Ohio have been working and contributing to communities and the economy for decades, and deporting them would be a mistake, he says, also citing how dangerous Haiti is. Listening to ABC News.
Hi, I'm Jack Arnold from Arnold Electric.
And I'm Jack of all trades.
Jack, did you know you have to exercise your breakers?
I don't even like exercising myself. Why would I exercise my breakers?
Most people don't think their electrical panel needs maintenance.
So, that's why I listen to the news. And that's why I repeat what I do. I repeat, I listen, I repeat, I listen. By the time I do up until 7 o'clock, we hear 4, 4:30, 5, 5:30, 6, 6:30, 7. We hear, what? 7 different newscasts. And they all, some of them even change, even about this specific thing as they go through the day. Sometimes if you listen to the morning news broadcast in the afternoon and then the evening, they change the details. And sometimes you get more details. But the point I'm trying to make here is we need to start listening carefully. Ben Bradley said it today on one of his posts. You guys comment without even looking at the video. That's the way life is. Well, I make the video. Got that?
5:03, Thursday, the 25th day of June. June is flying by. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Lisa Fielding. A beautiful day today. It was 78 degrees, partly sunny skies. A nice night tonight with a low of 60. Warming up starting Sunday through next week, temperatures in the mid-90s. The AccuWeather 5-day forecast coming up at 5:15. But first, at 5, Governor Pritzker in Chicago today. He signed several bills aimed at making life more affordable for Illinois residents. Here's WBBM's Mallory Vorbroker.
Surrounded by supporters and elected officials at Concord Music Hall on the Northwest Side, Governor Pritzker signed a package of consumer protection bills into law. The measures aim to protect Illinois residents from hidden fees, curb deceptive ticket resale practices, crack down on ticket buying bots, and sets new rules for buy now, pay later companies. The governor says it's about protecting people's hard-earned money.
Corporations have become more and more creative in finding ways to charge consumers more while telling them less about what they're charging them for. We're talking about hidden fees, about artificial scarcity, predatory lending products, ticket schemes that make it harder and more expensive for families to just enjoy a night out.
A total of 4 bills were signed. Mallory Vorbroker, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Some Chicago aldermen accused the Johnson administration of deliberately hiding details about a planned sale of the city's controversial parking meter contract. Stone Peak Partners says it's ready to pay more than $2.5 billion to take over the parking meters, but the city law department said it could not provide answers to a number of questions about the proposal, including the administration's own failed bid to buy the meters last fall. Northside Alderman Scott Wagisback told colleagues he was also concerned that the mayor has not said whether he believes council should endorse the sale.
We're not going to get anywhere if the mayor's never going to come out of hiding and say that he's for or against this ordinance that he wrote.
The council must vote up or down on the proposed sale before the end of next month. Well, the field of candidates in next February's Chicago mayoral race is getting a little bigger.
I'm not going anywhere. In fact, I'm running for mayor.
That's Matthew Brewer. He made news back in March as head of the Chicago Housing Authority Board that defied Mayor Brandon Johnson and picked an outsider to run the agency. That prompted the city to file suit and the mayor to remove him as board chair.
At the CHA, I've had a front row seat to see the dysfunction coming out of City Hall.
But his campaign's launch video starts with a rundown of his childhood on the South Side, his Ivy League education, and his track record as a small business owner.
And I'm proud to help run one of the finest institutions in Chicago, the Wiener Circle.
Brewer's entry into the race comes just a couple of days before longtime Northside Congressman Mike Quigley is set to formally launch his campaign with an event Saturday at the Uptown Theater. Mayor Johnson has not officially said he plans to seek re-election, but he's been dropping hints in that direction for weeks. Jeff Buckles, News Radio 105.9, WBBM.
The man has been sentenced to time behind bars for a disturbing attack that happened last winter.
On December 22nd, Cook County prosecutors say 33-year-old Timothy House attacked another man in the Chicago halfway house the two were living in. House is accused of beating and stabbing the 55-year-old man who suffered serious injuries. Afterwards, House told authorities he wanted to kill the victim because of his sexual orientation. House pleaded guilty to charges of attempted murder and hate crime, and this week was sentenced to 18 years behind bars. A statement from State's Attorney Eileen O'Neill Burke reads in part, hate-fueled motivated violence causes lasting harm for victims and communities alike. Andy Dane, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
18 years is pretty short.
The state of Illinois over a new law that taxes
Told you
contract
she's not your
on the
friend.
platform. The suit comes
Told you she's not your friend. 18 years for attempted murder, and he admitted to doing it and saying why he wanted to do it. He should at least have life in prison. At least life in prison.
State regulation of prediction markets.
There you go. That's Eileen Burke. I told you she's not your friend.
Tickets to see the NFC North Division champion Bears may be pricey this season, but there's another way for fans to cheer on the team and even get paid.
Head coach Ben Johnson and
Tricked
tight
all
end
of us.
Colston Loveland announced the news on social media.
I voted for her.
Bears are teaming up with the Hallmark Channel,
The NFL, and Skydance Sports
for a holiday touchdown, a Bears love story coming this Christmas.
Hallmark has made holiday movies featuring fans of the Chiefs and Bills in the past 2 years. Now it's the Bears' turn. A casting company looking for extras has put out a call for people with 70s style hair and clothing, especially those with jerseys from that era or Ditka sweater vests. They're offering $17 an hour, but warn they will be filming outdoors in July here in Chicago and need people to wear winter clothing. Nancy Hardy, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
All right, 5:08 traffic now. Traffic and weather together on the 8s. Here's Neil Fiorito.
If you're wondering why you're sitting in a lot of traffic on the Edens outbound from Peterson to Dempster, it's because of a crash getting cleaned up on the left shoulder. There are 5 vehicles involved.
Close to 40 minutes to drive out to Lake Cook Road with a Gapers delay inbound. 43 minutes from Lake Cook to the junction. Kennedy Expressway out 53 to Montrose. About the same in the express lanes. Hour 11 at the airport. You're the same coming in. Eisenhower out at 55 to Mannheim. An hour 20 to drive out towards Schaumburg and I-90. It's an hour 20 in too. 48 minutes in from Mannheim. Stevenson going out to the Midway Airport exit. Cicero 38 minutes. 50 to the Tri-State. Hour 5 to the Bellman. It's about 55 to drive in. Southside Expressways on the Dave Ryan leaving downtown out to the split. Expect 35. Hitting a little better. 27 coming in from the merge. 57 about 18 either way. Bishopport outbound 30 minutes to drive to 8094. The South Lakeshore Drive is slowing where it usually does around this time. A little extra heavy northbound from the Stevenson to Balbo. Looks like some emergency road work going on there in the right lane. On the tollways, a couple of problems, a lot of delays, but a couple of issues. Will start on the Tri-State. Southbound at Lake Cook Road, you have a crash getting cleaned up on the exit ramp, and that's why you're backed up before Town Line Road. Also an Oak Brook backups along the Ronald Reagan Tollway eastbound Highland Avenue before the southbound Tri-State ramp. Crash cleanup there on the right shoulder. Route 53 in the northwest suburbs heavy like usual because of all the construction.
Chicago,
backups along I-80 through Joliet,
early morning
hours between Larkin and Briggs. Backups eastbound getting through Tinley Park as well. A lot of traffic on both sides.
We're gonna pull over here to the local drug dealing spot at the McDonald's. We're gonna get back to the radio calls in a second.
Truck scales, long-term road work in that area in the left lane. From the Metro Traffic Center, next reports at 518. News Radio 105.
There you go, man. Selling drugs, man. Right? They sit right by the entrance right here.
With a high near 70.
Right by the entrance.
Saturday, clouds and sun with a high of 78. Warming up starting Sunday. 78 at O'Hare, 79.
Right by the entrance, right here, man.
It is 5:10.
You've heard me singing the praises of the Good Feet store for years now.
So let's get back to the radio calls. We'll go back, what? It's 5:10, so we'll go back to about 4:30 maybe. Let's see what's going on, all right?
389, boy. 89, boy. Fighting trains from Clinton, westbound. Blue line, car number 7044.
08540.
Well, thank you. What did I say, 89 Adam?
89 Adam?
Number for the Kedzie Blue line, Kedzie Holman.
Take it at 08545.
Charlie.
Triple shooting in the early morning hours in Little Italy.
Platform 79 about red line.
08592, 08596.
87.
7387.
Little Italy, Chicago.
Red line 69th Street.
08599, 08599.
383 John.
83 John.
Number 4. Red line.
Yeah, 08620, 08620.
7387, boys.
87, boy.
Okay, number please. Bus number 8641, westbound, Cicero and Elizabeth.
08625.
What's up, Trina?
7388 Adam.
88 Adam.
Got a number for Jefferson Park in the Blue Line Station.
I was just talking, Trina. I don't know if you missed it. At first hour of my show, I was talking about two things. Eileen Burke, who's blocking ICE agents from deporting domestic abusers. And she did that yesterday. She made a statement. I'm not going to let ICE deport domestic abusers. She said that yesterday on the record. So illegal aliens that beat people can't be deported. She's blocking that. And secondly, about the, the gun violence thing that Brandon is making. And let's make a gun violence, department. Well, that's like the police, ain't it? Yeah, see. It's defund the police movement, you see. But hey, there's only so much one dude in a truck can do. I hope you're doing alright, Trina.
Can we get a car over here? We on 35th in the red line. Can we get a car over here for an auto accident involving a CTA bus?
So you want to see?
Yeah, anybody interested? You at the red line, 35th Street?
You want to see how disease spreads? This is how disease spreads. Watch, I'm going to show you how disease spreads, right? Because people wonder how COVID spreads and Ebola and all of that crazy stuff, right? Let me show you this, right? This is how disease spreads in a society. You see this here? See that guy right there? Look at that. He's eating next to all of that disease. See that there? There you go. See that there? See the disease? So he eats with the disease, the bird. Remember we had something called the bird flu? Now you get how that spreads, right? So he eats, he mixes, he does whatever he does there. Maybe he shoots up some intravenous drugs, whatever. Smokes a pipe, right? And then what? Then he has sex with somebody, or he kisses somebody, or he mixes fluids, or he gets cut and the EMS guy comes and treats him and not thinking about it. That spreads the disease, right? Yeah. Hey, Trina, help me out with this. You're smart. I love you. You know that, right? So, I don't know if you've seen my post about the locks on the doors, right? Where they're locking people into that apartment building on the north side. Why would somebody say me posting about it is bad? I don't understand. Is they just high and drunk? Are they like crackheads? Is that a crackhead? Holly, is that a crackhead who would say the locks? Why were you post? I don't even know what it said. I forgot now. It was so bizarre. Oh, you're just stupid talking about locks. You don't know nothing. Like, what? Is that a crackhead talking? I think that's a crackhead, right? And then the lady had pictures of her. She was doing porno pictures with her kids on her page while she was doing drugs, too. So it's kind of weird. I think it's a crackhead page, right? Yeah. I think there's a lot of crackhead pages out there, right? They sell crack or whatever they do, or maybe they do pornos. I don't know what these people do. I have no idea what people do on Facebook. I use it for my thing. I used to use it for my family, right? And then I did it, a lot of activism when I was in the union, right? And now I do it for a business, for a news agency, right? So I don't understand what people do and how they talk or what they are. And then I look at their pages, it's weird. You know, they have drugs, kids, pornos, all kinds of strange behavior. It's what Ms. Zedora says, and I think you say it once in a while, Trina. It's like satanic stuff. You're Satan. Why are you involving children into your drug activity and your porno activity? You kind of get it. There you go, man. Look at these guys, man. Look at that. There you go. See the white chicks there? Those are white chicks. See that there? Look at that, man. These guys are all jacked up. He's right in the middle of the road right there. See that there? See that? See he's in the middle of the road? They're ready to go do drugs. They're gonna go do drugs right there. They're right about to go do drugs. You see that stuff there? That's wild, ain't it? That's pretty wild there, man. That's wild. You see that there, Trina? That's wild, huh? Did you just see that stuff? Huh? That's what's happening right there, live, uncut, unedited. Huh? How about that? I think that's those people who run those pages, right? It's weird. Let's see what you say. Yeah, it's the... Oh, like, block, and delete people. Hey, where's Marietta? Marietta, you need to make a t-shirt. Where's my t-shirt lady? Like, you have to do... John, you have to do like me. Block, delete, and forget. Marietta, that's our t-shirt. It's called Block, Delete, and Forget. Come on, let's all get that t-shirt. Let's print those t-shirts. What is it? Block, delete, and forget. I love you, Trina. Hey, if we make money out of those street t-shirts, right? There's all expensive houses up here, man. Well, maybe we go, how about we go watch the, towing today and we relax a little bit, huh? Let's go watch some predatory towing. How about that? Imagine that. Imagine the mayor who has a mass shooting on Friday. By Thursday, he's signing an executive order to make a new department of gun violence when he has a police department. Imagine that. When for 3 years he said gun violence is down. Pretty wild, ain't it? How come, who wrote up that whole gun violence legislation and executive order? Who did that? Who did that? That was pretty quick, ain't it? Less than what? Less than a week? Less than a week, he created a brand new governmental department for gun violence. Oh, wait up. That's the police department, ain't it? Think about it. In less than a week, the mass shooting happened Friday night, Juneteenth. By Thursday, he has an executive order creating a brand new governmental department of gun violence. Gun violence department. Like, huh? What's that? Gun violence department. What is that? I don't even understand. What does a gun violence department do? What are you gonna arrest gun? What about the knife violence? The bat violence? What about the car violence? What about the scooters? Does that include that too? You know, because there's a lot of people get beaten and stabbed in our society, right? Especially in Chicago. We're gonna go upstairs. We're gonna watch some predatory towing. How about that? Check these guys out. Maybe somebody will threaten to kill me over here. We'll go around. You seen those white chicks over there ready to go do drugs, right? There you go. Let's go see what's going on here. That a white dude there? It looks like it, don't it? He just came out of one of these tents. See that white guy there? See the white guy, right? That's what? The third white guy down there doing drugs. See that guy right there? See that guy? Look at that guy. That's a white drug addict. You see him right there? Right there, man. See that guy right there? It's a white drug addict. See that there? There you go, man. Don't get fooled. Don't get fooled. Keep your eyes open. Keep your eyes open. People lie all the time. And the biggest liar in our city is the government. They lie about a lot of things. Think about it again one more time. He said crime is down. Historic levels is down. And why would you have to create, and what is a gun violence department? That doesn't even make sense. What is that? Right? An executive order on top of it, so you don't have to, you bypass the voters and you bypass the legislators. Pretty cool, ain't it? Who's different, him or Trump? No, they're the same, man.
Three of them have guns.
They're the same.
Wearing all black clothing and a male black with a brown jogging suit on. Those are the subjects with the guns. Nothing further. This is all night clear. For the units at 5 and citywide, a person with a gun, call 13212 to 13226 South Langley. Callers reporting 5 male blacks walking back and forth from the parking lot to the playground. 3 of them have guns. 2 male blacks wearing all black clothing and a male black with a brown jogging suit on. Those are the subjects with the guns. Nothing further. This is all night clear.
There you go. What's the Department of Guns gonna do about that? So we have a Department of Guns. What are they going to do about that? Go out there and talk to them? I don't think so. It's weird, right? He steals money right in front of everybody. It's not even funny. And no one does nothing about it, right?
Okay, 10-4, thank you.
That's how that goes. I don't know what's going on here. A lot of traffic.
Here's the number for that traffic crash report, 32.
Yeah, it's going to be 08675. 08675.
732, Adam.
7320, Adam.
Transfied, you can tube it out to the CFC. It's going to go to Northwestern. Train car with 7154.
A lot of cars here today.
Thank you. That number is going to be 08914. 08914.
A lot of cars here today. We're going to go down and then up. I'll show you how I do that, right?
87 Charlie.
Number for a bus ride, 51st and Ashland, southbound, bus 1384.
09015.
7383 George. Can I get an event number for Clark and Lake?
09028. 09028.
We're gonna go see some predatory towing.
950 units at 9 City Road. Getting reported of a person with a knife. Coming up 4547 to come Mozart. 4547 to Mozart. So the male friend threatened him and his family. He's been threatening him verbally in text. Now he's at the home attempting to hit him.
Oh yeah, this is dangerous area here. You don't want to be down.
83 John.
There you go, man.
83 John.
There's a lot of bad things that happen down here, man.
090.
This is where you can disappear, man.
0907.
There we go. How's the broadcast? Sorry about that, everybody. I gotta get Elon Musk's internet. Sorry about that. That's what happens down there. We're gonna watch some predatory towing, right? It's 5:26. We'll listen to the half-hour news. You're gonna listen to the executive order establishing a gun violence department, and they want to pass it to make it its own department in the city of Chicago. So do you understand how abolish the police is happening and defund the police? That's how they're doing it. They create down. Don't you remember that? And now he says we need a new department. So think about it. They said shot spotter is bad. So I was talking about shot spotter, and I'm sorry it's jumping back and forth, but I'm in a bunch of buildings. So here, let's go through the whole timeline of events here. So when you want to abolish and defund the police, first of all, you got to do what? Make them look bad. So do you do that? You put a bunch of policies in that says no chase, no arresting. You pay off criminals. Even Kim Fox said, right? They paid people who were guilty of murder. We shouldn't have let them out of prison, and we shouldn't have paid them. Kim Fox said that. So think about who's your real enemy. Was Kim Fox your enemy, or is Eileen Burke your enemy? See, that's the way you got to think about this, right? So whatever, she's gone. Now we got Eileen Burke, whatever. So then what did they say? They said, we're going to turn off Shot Spotter because Shot Spotter don't work. So they turn off Shot Spotter, right? 6 months later, to the date, what do? They say, oh, look, we turned off the detection system, and now we have less shootings. Bizarre, isn't it? So the thing that said how many shootings was happening, you turn it off, and then you say, oh, there's less shootings. A year later, you say, we have the lowest crime in 60 years. 60 years we haven't had this low of a crime rate in shootings and killings and murders in Chicago. Then you have a mass shooting, 14 people shot on Juneteenth, and you say, you know what? We need to make a new department. It's a brand new department. The police aren't working. The police don't do their jobs. So we need to make a gun violence department. Well, wait up. You said we don't have that much violence. We don't need a gunshot detection system. We have the lowest gun crime in history. And now you say we need a new department of gun violence. But I thought we had the lowest amount of gun violence in history, didn't we? Didn't they just say that? Do you see how this works? That's how it works. It's called defund, and really, Brandon isn't a defunder. He's an abolisher. He has an abolisher in his cabinet. That girl with the bald head. She's an abolisher. She wants to abolish the police department. She wants to abolish it, and it continues this way. And this is what's going to happen. It doesn't matter because remember, Lori Lightfoot did the same things. So this is a continuation. It's not Brandon. It isn't one person. They're all inside it, embedded. What they want is crime to be used as a tool against the working class. So when they have that, they do what? They can extort the workers of what? More taxes, more fees, and more restrictions. Like he just passed a new gun violence department. This is the 5th department he just created without legislative approval. He has 4 other departments he approved the first day by executive order. They're all duplicative and replicative. Meaning, in a few years, what are they going to do? They're going to say, you know what? This is what's going to happen. When there's a downturn in the economy, if there's a depression, what are they going to do? And everybody's going to say, damn, we got to save money. We got to save. They're going to say, look, the police department spends $1 billion. The gun violence department only spends $100 million. Which one should we keep? What's the natural reaction of a person going to say, well, we'll get rid of the police department? That's how they're going to frame it. Watch in 5 years. Watch in 5 to 10 years, that's how it's going to be framed. They're going to say, in a downturn in the economy, when Chicago goes worse, we're going to get worse, trust me. We're not at the bottom yet. We might not even be halfway there yet. When Chicago gets worse, they're going to say this. We have a duplicative and replicative work being done. That's what he just created. He created a department that's already, that doesn't make sense. The gun violence department is the police, right? Doesn't make sense. It's stupid. It's stupid. But if you look at what they do in the long term, they're planning for 5 to 10 years from now. So when there's a downturn in the economy, or there's more liberals in Chicago, which they're trying to get here, somebody's going to say, look, why do we need the police? We have this department. We have this department here. They're doing it for $100 million, and we got the same amount of crime as we did 10 years ago. So who cares? Eliminate the police. Guess what? One fell swoop, the police department is wiped out. One fell swoop. And I'll tell you this, John Catanzaro, you're a fucking asshole, bootlicking motherfucker. You're an asshole. You're a traitor to your own rank and file. You know why? Because you let all those migrants in your police station. You didn't file shit. John Catanzaro is a bootlicking traitor. So is that other guy. The guy who's the head of the fire department. He's a bootlicking traitor to all the firefighters. He's a disgrace. Both of those dudes. Both. They lie, they cheat for some salary, a union salary. And they give up what? To fight for their union members. That's what they do. Both of those dudes. Both those guys. Bootlicking traitors. They should be removed from the union movement, from the labor movement. They betray their own members. I'll tell you this. I'm going to say this, and you might not like what I'm about to say. Yeah, I just swore. It's 5:30. We're missing the news. Let's see. Maybe I'll put the news on so I don't swear anymore, right? Maybe we'll do that, right? Let's see. We missed the local stuff, right?
Having completed their driving lessons when they had not. And then on at least one occasion, parents dropped off students for class and no instructor showed up. State officials say in a report, Kearney's actions, quote, may result in poorly trained persons operating motor vehicles on the roadway who may engage in actions dangerous to themselves and other users of the roadway. Andy Dane, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
It's been a long cleanup day in northwest Indiana after storms knocked down trees and caused widespread damage. NIPSCO says more than 15,000 homes and businesses still are without power.
We're on the north end of Broad Street in Griffith, where most of
tornadoes, whatever.
Power lines came down, poles were leaning over the street. Throughout this area,
I'm going to say this, and my people might not like this. Everybody knows I used to work for the teachers union. I got in there in 2010, July 1st, 2010. I was the first person Karen Lewis hired. Jesse Sharkey hired me at midnight. I was the first employee hired at midnight, because you only take power at midnight. I was the first one. There's other people working on the transition team and all of that, but I was the first employee hired when we officially took power. This might be a controversial statement. I would trust Stacey Davis Gates over John Catanzaro and what's the fire department asshole's name? Let me get that guy. I think O'Connor? Who's the head of the fire department union in Chicago? Eric Steinmetz. Eric Steinmetz and John Catanzaro. Two bootlicking bums. They should be stripped and never allowed to be in the labor movement in their lifetimes. Ever. Stripped. Stripped. Cantanzera, because he let all those migrants in those buildings and he didn't protect his own officers from poisons, killings, and diseases. Those were disease-infested police buildings. And they were against fire code and they were against OSHA regulations. And he allowed that. And he didn't do nothing. He's a bum. The other guy, Eric Steinmetz, he just made a deal and he bootlicked Brandon Johnson for a contract that actually didn't help his firefighters. And he didn't get new equipment. They just announced some $100 million equipment. Well, Brandon Johnson just said he's giving away $150 million in business grants to win an election. Wait, shouldn't you give more money to the firefighters rather than to win an election? So that's why those two are bootlickers. They're both bootlicking bums. Both those guys. Bootlicking bums. Now I'm going to say this. I would trust Stacey Davis Gates. I don't like Stacey Davis Gates. I think she should be locked up. I think she does illegal stuff. In fact, I said that to her a couple of times. That's why she didn't like me. She got rid of me from the union. But I'll tell you this. That's as an employee and as policy and philosophy. But as a union member, I would trust Stacey Davis Gates. You see the difference? I don't like Stacey, and I think Stacey should be locked up. She's a criminal. But as a union leader, I trust her. Cantanzera and Steinmetz are bootlicking bums that backstab their own members, and those members are what? The police and the firefighters in our city. I just showed you a video last night of the fire truck that has no numbers. I've been documenting. I was the first one to document that stuff. I'm the first one to do that on the internet. I said, what is this? How come they don't have no numbers here? What is that stuff? And then everybody started following me, and then Ben Bradley did a story, and they did a story. I'm the first guy who videotaped. I said, what's that? That's like a duct tape number there. It was over on Lakeview. I remember the call to this day. Some guy had a stroke over there by the old, what was it? The Golden Nugget. Remember the Golden Nugget over there on Broadway? They tore it down now. There's a CPS school there. You know there's a CPS school there where Golden Nugget used to be? Yeah, a private, illegal CPS school just for the people in the neighborhood. Not one black kid goes there. Not one Mexican kid goes there. It's all for the elites there. By the way, it's a preschool on the second floor, which is illegal. You can't have a preschool on the second floor. Yeah, you gotta know the rules, right? But they did that, and they got a couple $100 million to do it, or 50 million. I don't even remember. I have all the documents out. This is the point I want to make here. When you have a guy where your trucks are breaking down, when you have a guy that allowed the migrant diseased criminals into the police station to have sex, they were having sex. I have videos of sex outside District 1. And selling drugs and doing drugs in and around your police stations. You're a traitor to your own workforce and your own members. You betray them. When you don't get trucks fixed and you don't tell the mayor, we're not coming back to work until all of our trucks and all of our stations are up to code, then you're a traitor to the workforce that you represent. I'm going to say that right here, and I don't care about those two bums. They're bums. Again, I don't like Stacey, and I think she should be locked up. But I trust her as a union leader to get what I need from me if I'm a union member. You see the difference? When you have a guy who betrays his own members and doesn't get them fire trucks, or he betrays his own members and he doesn't get them what? A cleaned out station, OSHA regulations, or the fire marshal, that's a fire hazard. All those migrants in those stations. That's an easy fire marshal thing. I filed those kinds of complaints. I filed OSHA complaints. I filed all those types of complaints as a business agent for the teachers union. That's what I used to do. I used to do that. I used to pay good money for that. If you don't do that for your members, then you're a traitor to the working class. And that's why we're at where we're at. That's why you get an Eileen Burke. That's why the engineers just gave Junulius $250,000 to his mayoral campaign. Why? Because Junulius is now going to do one or two things. Either he's going to run for mayor or he's not. I don't think he's going to run for mayor. I think he's going to use his money to help Brandon Johnson win. That's my view. That's my opinion. That's why the engineers, another union, just gave him $250,000, which lifted the cap off his mayoral campaign of whatever he has, 8 or 18 million bucks. How much does Julius have? Everybody know that? How much does Julius have? Let's see this. Let's do another Google search. How much does Alexei Julius have in his bank account for the mayoral election? Yes, 9 million smacks. Brandon Johnson doesn't even have 1 million. Julius is the banker. Remember, he had the bank with the mob? He had a bank that failed because they were connected to the mob. Or do you think that connection just disappears instantly? No, it doesn't. That's what the Bally's and the gaming stuff happened the other day, right? They were talking about that's the mob telling the city what to do. The mob still controls the city. The mob controls the drug activity. They'd fight once in a while with the cartels, but then they get a cut, they're good, right? The cartel don't run Chicago. It runs with the 26th Street. That's why they send ICE in there to mess with the cartel a little bit. Because the mob wants to establish that it's here. It controls downtown. It controls the city. It controls real estate. The mob controls that. They control. The white mob. The black mob does a little bit of street stuff, right? The cartels bring some drugs in and that's it. And everybody splits the money up. But the white mobs are the ones that run Chicago. They still do to this day. So now what's going to happen with Brandon, they're going to decide, can they trust him or not trust him to do what they want? What the mob wants is more buildings, more construction, so they can make more money, right? The mob does legal work, right? They do illegal stuff and then they do illegal stuff, right? They do legit stuff, right? So they can what? Take their money and be legitimate businesses so they don't have to worry about going to prison. Even mob guys don't want to be in prison. That's just their business, right? So now they're going to decide if they can trust Brandon Johnson for a second term. That's what's going to happen in the next few months. And now if they let him do these changes with the police department, switching police departments, defunding and abolishing, it might already be the green light that they want him to be the mayor again. Why? Because if there's chaos and people aren't watching what's happening in the city, then what happens? You can make more money if you're doing drugs, prostitution, if you're doing juice racket, right? If you're taking cut from construction companies, right? If you're taking cuts from the buildings here. So that's what we got to start looking at, right? And it's not good or bad with the mobs or the gangs. They do their thing. That's their business, man. I ain't a cop. That's not my job, right? I'm just reporting what I see from the street, what people have told me, right? And then we have to look at these things and look at them objectively, right? That's why we look at a mass shooting. We look at some fentanyl. We look at potholes, right? And then what happens? Eileen Burke says, well, yeah, I'm not going to let ICE get information about illegal domestic abusers. That's the red flag there, right? That should send off a red flag in everybody's ears. That's the person that's anti-worker, they're anti-victim, they're pro-criminal. And they want to harm people in our city. They want to keep us what? On the tight constraints. Because if they do, then they can make more money. That's the point I wanted to make, okay? All right, that's just some radio calls. That's enough of my time. I needed to get that out there. I needed to get that out. I appreciate everybody listening. That's just some radio calls, and that's enough of that. And then at 5 or 6 o'clock, we'll listen to some news. But that's really important. Those guys were not good union leaders, okay? The fire department guy and the Chicago cop guy. All right, we're at 5:44. We'll go about I already seen this stuff here. We'll go around here. How about this? We'll start about right there. Let's keep moving, right? We don't see no predatory towing.
Tube it out to CFC. Is going to go to North.
We heard that one. We heard this.
7154 if you need it.
All right, 10-4, thank you. That event number is going to be 08914. 08914.
K387 Charlie.
87 Charlie.
Number for a bus ride, 51st and Ashland southbound, bus 1384.
09015.
7383 George. Can I get an event number for Clark and Lake?
09028. 09028. I have 2 units at 9 Citywide. Can you report of a person with a knife? So we have 4547 on Mozart. 4547 on Mozart. Said a male friend threatened him and his family. He's been threatening him verbally and through text. Now he's at the home attempting to hit him. He's armed with a knife, waiting outside the house, parked in a green Mazda. Through the Spanish interpreter, not sure their names. 83 and
Yeah, can we get 35th red line, sir?
09045. 09045.
83 John.
83 John.
Taking it right on the red line, Roosevelt.
09070. 09070.
D3 Henry.
8300.
Although Avenue, the tenants are coming up and telling us there's a stabbing on a train. We're going down to figure out what's going on.
Stabbing on the train.
Alright, 10-4, let me know what's going on. Let me figure it out. 7001 Sam. Yeah, do you see anything over there? 7383 George got flagged down over the red line in Chicago saying that somebody was stabbed on the train.
There you go, red line Chicago. Ready to go back? That's in back of us.
Alright, thanks.
Red line Chicago reports somebody was stabbed on the train. Red line. So are we gonna make a stabbing department? You understand the scam of a gun department? You just heard of a stabbing, right? Are you gonna make a drug department now? The Department of Drug Enforcement for Chicago. Is that what you're gonna make now? You see how you defund and abolish the police? Remember, that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna make all these departments, and when there's a budget crunch, they're gonna say, look, there's no difference, or they're doing this, they're doing that. They might even give more resources or something to the one department to make it look better. And then when it's a bad economy or something really bad happens, they're gonna say, well, we don't need the police anymore, we just keep this one. They've done this in other cities. This is nothing new. It's nothing new. It's nothing new. Somebody was shot in the forest preserves just now.
7383 George. Can I get a van number for Clark?
78th and Cahill. There's a shooting in the forest preserves.
0946309.
So what's the gun department gonna do now? What's the point? You see, he's saying I'm gonna make it a gun department. So what's the gun department gonna do about this shooting that just happened in the forest preserve? Just was supposed to, I don't know, multiple people, 2 people shot in the forest preserves. So what's the gun department gonna do again? Well, nothing. It's just there to defund the police. There you go. Forest preserve shooting, right? Oh man, they're dead too. So double shooting, double homicide. Double homicide in the forest preserves. Alright, let me post that road. There's a double homicide on the north side. We'll maybe go up there. Alright, let's go. It's in Dunning, right? There's a double homicide on the far north side. in the forest preserves. Double homicide. Double homicide. Double homicide. Hey, ain't nobody downtown. It's 5:51. Don't you see? There's no traffic.
83 Charlie.
83 Charlie.
79 red line.
09483. 09483.
I'm gonna have to pull over and do this. I'm gonna pull over right here. I'm sorry, guys. This is double homicide just happened, and we're gonna go up there and check it. I gotta pull over. We'll listen to the radio calls, all right? And just a double homicide. So what's the gun department gonna do? They ain't gonna do nothing. That's what. They're just gonna make some money. That's all they're gonna do.
One number, please, for 95th Street line.
2 male Hispanics were shot and laying on the sidewalk.
09493. 09493.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Just happened, just now. I just got a notification of it. It was Hispanics shooting other Hispanics. On Cahill, if you know where that's at, Cahill, away on the far north side. We're gonna head up there, right? I'm getting the information right now off another page. Double homicide. They just passed away at 4:12 p.m. and 4:15. Source Dunning Watch, Twitter. So that's what you got. That's what happens when you have incompetent people that make up fake departments. You're going to have more of this, and it's going to be more dangerous. What's going to happen? They're gonna take away more of our rights. Remember what happened with 9/11? Everybody remember. Who remembers 9/11? What happened? What's the first thing that happened to us? They took away all of our rights. I used to fly before 9/11. I used to go to Midway Airport. That was like a bus station. After 9/11, what? They took away all of our rights. They didn't punish the criminals. They punished us. What do you think Brandon Johnson's gonna do? You think he's gonna punish the criminals? He's gonna punish us with this new department. What do you think he's gonna do? Don't you think he might say, you know what? Let's go check how many guns we have in the city of Chicago, and let's start confiscating these guns. How about this? The Department of Guns says we have too many guns in Chicago. So anybody who has over 2 guns in Chicago, we're gonna take them away. You wanna bet he does that one? You wanna bet? Yeah, there you go. Do you got that one yet? I'll put it up, Steve. Cahill, that's where I'm going. Let me just post this. Gotta get the video up, right? I'm getting it right now. I'm posting, and then you guys tell me which way is the fastest way. What's the fastest way to get up there? That's what I need to know. So double homicide just happened. I'm posting it right now, guys, and you'll see it, all right? Let's see, Dunning Watch. First call came in about 4 p.m. First calls and postings came in about 4 p.m. June 25th, 2026. All right, let's go up there. I've just posted it, Steve. I don't know if it's how fast it's going to be up there. Tell me. So think about this. We just had a double homicide, right? We just had a double homicide. So what's the gun department going to do? Are they licensed police officers? You know, you can't do police work in the state of Illinois or in the country alone. You can't be a police. You can't investigate things if you're not a police officer. It's illegal. So what is he going to give these people badges and guns? Are they going to be a private security force now for the Brandon Johnson? Think about all the possibilities. And he did it all by executive order. Think about this. What is this new department going to do? Are they going to have badges? Are they going to have guns? Are they going to be his private security detail? There you go. Yeah, that's how it all works out. Lakeshore. Oh, the fastest way is Lakeshore Drive? Oh, man. I got to turn around then, right? Or maybe I'll go up here and turn back. I don't even know where it's at. Did you see that post? So Lakeshore Drive all the way up there. Alright. Do you see the post? It just posted up. It's at Addison and Forest Preserve. You know where that's at? No, that's west, bro. It's 72 west. We gotta go west. I gotta get on to Kennedy, but it's packed right now. If I go up Lakeshore Drive, I'm gonna be too far east to travel 72. You want to go on an angle right now. You want to take Elston, Claiborne, maybe Milwaukee. If I can get on to Kennedy, maybe. I need to be going this way, right? We're gonna go up there, right? I got coffee behind me, so I'm about to get me some coffee. 70. It's on Addison and Forest Preserve Drive. That's what it sounds like. 7800 Cahill. Where is 7800 Cahill in Chicago? 7800 Cahill, Chicago. That's far up there. That's in Norwich, close to Norwich, I believe. That might be up by the Superdog up there. You know where Superdog is, right up there? Irving Woods, right? It's inside the woods up there. Oh, come on, man. Man, this is garbage, man. I hate this Google crap. Let's keep moving, man. Alright, so here's the question. What would the department do right now? I'm telling you, it's a replicative thing. That department he's inventing is to... The department he just created is going to abolish the police if it's not abolished. You'll see. And guess what's going to happen? Mendoza, Junulius, anyone who gets elected, do you think they're going to ever get rid of those executive offices? He's got 4 and now he's got a 5th one. They're directly underneath him. He doesn't need no council approval for their budgets. None. He's got 5 new departments under him. Guess what? You think the new mayor is going to get rid of them? Absolutely not. Why? Because that's their power base. They can use that for political patronage. They'll never get rid of them. There's guys that a couple of us are writing about that. Brandon is no different from Trump. No different. He's the same. Red and blue, we always lose. Red and blue, we always lose. Remember that. All right, let's go. We're going up to the shooting.
Stay outdoors and away from damaged structures. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio saying that the United States is immediately deploying search and rescue teams, medical resources, and humanitarian assistance to Venezuela. Victor Oquendo, ABC News, Doral.
The Supreme Court handing President Trump a pair of wins today, ruling that the administration can, on its own, end temporary protected status for hundreds of thousands of migrants from Syria and Haiti. Massachusetts Governor Maura Healey slamming the ruling today.
When they went to bed last night, they had legal status in the United States of America. By ripping away that status, The Supreme Court and Donald Trump are attacking legal immigrants who've done everything right to be a part of this country for more than a decade.
In the other ruling, the High Court allowing the Trump administration to turn away asylum seekers at the border. White House Deputy Chief of Staff Stephen Miller saying America's doors are closed fully to asylum seekers. A new drone attack on a ship in the Strait of Hormuz. ABC's Louis Martinez with the latest.
What we have from a U.S. official is that, yes, there was an Iranian attack on a vessel that was carried out by an Iranian drone that caused some damage to the ship's bridge. And, of course, yes, this would be the first time that we now know that there is some kind of a new kind of kinetic incident involving Iran since the signing of that memo of understanding just last week.
The attack prompted the United Nations International Maritime Organization to suspend their escorts of ships through the Strait of Hormuz. You're listening to ABC News.
I've tried everything to stand out at work. Donuts, a company coffee blend, even dressed as the company mascot for Halloween.
There's an easier way, a ComEd facility assessment. Their engineer gave my company free insights and actions that saved us $732,000 on energy. Easy, right?
Learn how ComEd can help you save at ComEd.com/facility assessment. ComEd, powering lives. Savings will vary based on customers' usage and rate.
Memories remain, even if heirlooms don't shine like they used to. Let MJ Miller and Company help you write the next chapter. Consider those broken chains,
It's an hour away.
outdated styles.
Well, we'll go up there. Double homicide is where it's at. I'll show you on the map. The double homicide's over there by Franklin Park, Elmwood Park. That's where it's at. Broad daylight. What's the Department of Gun Violence gonna do? Nothing. It's not gonna do anything. I keep saying, everybody, I've been saying this for a little while. You let that guy continue, he's going to get elected. He needs to be removed by executive power, or he needs to be removed by criminal indictment. If that guy goes to the election day, he will win, because he's going to spend enough money to win. He will win. I'm warning everybody. That's what I'm saying. He will win. You think I'm joking? Whatever.
70 degrees, but tomorrow night is going to turn out partly cloudy with a low near 60 degrees. Of course, we're going to look at that AccuWeather 5-day forecast at 6:15. But right now, our top local story on News Radio WBBM. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson has signed a new executive order that sets up what he calls an innovative approach to curbing gun violence in the city. WBBM political editor Jeff Buckles talked to the mayor before today's signing ceremony.
The mayor says his order creating the Mayor's Office of Gun Violence Reduction will help streamline anti-violence efforts across several departments, including public health and family and support services.
We're the first major city in the country to establish an office dedicated to reducing gun violence.
He also supports a move set to be introduced soon in City Council that would make the office a cabinet-level department like transportation or cultural affairs. The announcement comes on the heels of last week's mass shooting on the South Side that injured 14 people. Is this a response to any specific incident or thing that has happened in the city?
This is really a response to the overwhelming desire to create safer communities.
The office will be led by Deputy Mayor Emmanuel Andre. We're with the mayor at City Hall, Jeff Buckles. News Radio 105.9, WBBM.
Under the new Northern Illinois Transit Authority Act, the Cook County Sheriff's Office is leading a task force focused on public transit safety, and it reports some early success.
Sheriff's officers have been patrolling CTA trains along with CPD officers, and on one line, the red line, between downtown and 95th Street, Sheriff Tom Dart says violent crime has dropped by 77% in 3 months. It's been a collaborative effort, he says.
And it's heartening, to see, okay, by putting these things in place, we can see some positive movement. And so we're going to continue to do that, maybe move around a little bit. We're hoping that some of this really focused approach will give us numbers that will give us a really good blueprint on what to do going forward.
Sheriff's officers have also focused on smoking, drinking, music, and turnstile jumping, and civilian employees have been assisting the homeless. Mike Krauser, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Defund the
Governor
police.
J.B. Pritzker joined legislators and community members on the city's northwest side to sign several bills that protect Illinois consumers.
The governor signed 4 consumer protection bills into law at Concord Music Hall in Logan Square, a mid-sized live music venue fitting for a measure aimed at protecting residents from being priced out of ticketed events by bots, resellers, and opaque pricing.
Illinoisans shouldn't have to compete against armies of computer programs or AI just to enjoy a night out.
State Senator Omar Aquino of the Northwest Side joined the governor in support of a bill he says is years in the making, a ban on junk fees in Illinois.
At the end of the day, what this bill does is that up front, you should know what you should be paying for.
And State Senator Mike Hastings, representing the southwest suburbs of Chicago, says new regulations will go into effect requiring buy now, pay later lenders to register with the state.
For far too long, buy now, pay later industry has operated like the Wild West.
The bills are all part of the state's affordability agenda. Mallory Vorbroker, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
A man is accused of sexually assaulting a young girl on Chicago's South Side.
41-year-old James Spencer faces charges of aggravated criminal sexual abuse of a victim under the age of 13. Chicago police say it happened Saturday night in a 100 block of West 87th Street in the Chatham neighborhood. Spencer accused of pretending to fall, then bracing himself by grabbing and sexually assaulting a 6-year-old
The gun
girl.
violence group gonna take care of the sexual molestation?
Andy Dane,
No, it won't.
105.9 WBBM.
One western suburb is getting ready to celebrate America's 250th birthday in style. The city of Aurora will host its 4th of July fireworks celebration on Friday, July 3rd at River Edge Park. At Keller Park, the display is expected to launch at dusk. And on Saturday, Aurora will host its annual 4th of July parade beginning at the intersection of Benton and Broadway Avenue at 10 a.m. Following the parade, the city's Grand Army of Republic Military Museum will open its latest exhibit on the Civil War Veterans Society.
We just had a double homicide. He just passed a thing that says he's gonna stop gun violence. What would it do today? Nothing. The day he signs the executive order to establish a political patronage department, he has a double homicide in the broad daylight. In a forest preserve. We're going up there. We're going to see where it's at. There you go.
5700 Adam.
To the Jane Addams, southbound from the Benson.
Are you possibly able to give me an event number for a mission until midnight in the 2nd District? It's vehicle theft.
Even's now heavy from Tower to the Junction, 45 minutes in from Lake Cook, just 17 on your outbound side. The Kennedy inbound heavy from Canfield to the Jane Byrne interchange.
Sure, it's going to be 09703. 09703.
37 to Montrose, 55.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Tight from the terminal to the Tri-State. Is an hour now, an hour 8 in from the Jane Addams to the Jane Byrne. Outbound, an hour 3. The Stevenson getting heavy from Lamont.
So it sounds like it's a building that's a slumlord and has gangbangers in it.
It's a 50-minute ride as well. Your delays from Dan
That's what it looks. It's all posted.
I-55 in Will
There was
County southbound. You're heavy from I-355 to past Joliet Road. The Dan Ryan now 22 minutes on your inbound side, 30 out to the split. I-57 just 15 minutes in, 18 out.
2 years ago, somebody shot themselves. 78, 73 West Cahill.
Caller heard 5 shots fired, no further. Distance coming.
78, here's the address. It's the same building, it sounds like. 78, 73 West Cahill.
And Midway 67 at the lakefront. And right now we're approaching 610. Tonight marks the beginning of the end for one of the most popular television shows to film in Chicago.
Jeff, you good? Just take a breath. Listen to the panic.
That sound from the new trailer of FX's The Bear, which will release its 5th and final season in its entirety on Hulu. The show, based on the original Mr. Beef, has been a massive hit since its debut back in 2022. It's been played with boosting restaurant tourism in the city. All the episodes of The Bear's final season will be available to stream starting in April. To Richards News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
09725. 09725.
Details about the impact of the state's creativity industry.
The study was released by Arts Alliance Illinois.
Three,
Executive
three,
Director
Adam.
Clay Rice says it's
Yeah, didn't you just sign an executive order for the gun violence department today?
the importance of the creative sector.
The creative economy
economy is Chicago's third largest industry, larger than educational services, retail, and manufacturing. While Chicago's creative economy generates extraordinary economic value, many artists and creative workers continue to face economic insecurity.
Rice says the study also found that Chicago's creative economy generates $50 billion in economic output. It includes 2 reports, one focused on Chicago and one focused on the state. It comes as the creative sector has faced funding cuts across levels of government.
The opportunity for change is clear to ensure that the people creating this value can share more fully in the prosperity to Chicago's
What's the brother of Marshawn, male black, wearing a blue shirt, black pants, collar has a CCL on the guts with a flip flop, starting to shoot the brother if he does anything. No further from 6
You want to see? You want to see who he's catering to? Them. They don't care about gang violence. See that there?
On the Bears' social media, the Hallmark Channel is shooting a made-for-TV movie called Holiday Touchdown, a Bears love story.
One's for fans and everybody with us. My wife Jessica and I will definitely be
female unit trying to come in. Your radio is breaking up.
Filmed entirely in and around Chicago, according to the NFL, Hallmark Media, and Skydance Sports. A casting call for the project says they're looking for men and women to play football fans, especially those with long hair, mustaches, afros, or other 70s styles. Nancy Hardy, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
And the North Shore Mosquito Abatement District has detected the first West Nile virus positive mosquitoes from Lincolnwood this year. 2 batches of the bloodsuckers were collected yesterday and tested positive in their lab this afternoon. So far, experts say West Nile positive mosquitoes have also been found in Evanston, Glenview, Northbrook, and Wilmette. However, the risk of being infected with West Nile virus is low.
They have no kids. Most of these people have no children, so they don't care. But when they have children in 5 to 10 years, they're going to be moving into the neighborhoods. I was going to do a whole show somewhere today. I had something planned out to talk about Ford City, what's going to happen down there. They're pushing people out of the center of the city. The city is a castle. The castle is the moat. The river is the moat. Remember that. Chicago is the river, the 3 rivers, right? Wolf Point. That's why it's famous, because it's a place to trade, and it's safe here, right? You raise the bridges. Remember what Lipa did? She raised the bridges, and they couldn't riot, right? Well, think about that. In the future, when there's complete unrest and chaos, you can raise the bridges, you block that South Loop off, and you're done. Everybody in downtown... Everybody in downtown will be protected, and everybody else will have to fend for themselves. And we'll have to what? We'll have to deal with the police department or the gun violence department. But I think the gun violence department is going to be a private police force for the mayor. I'm almost sure that's what's going to. It's going to end up being the private police force of the mayor. You'll see. That's how it's going to, because it's under his direction. Those executive orders, he's the boss of all those departments. There's 5 now. I think there's 5. There might be 6. The first day he was in office, he did 4. Now this is the 5th one. I have to double check right now, right?
A person with a gun in Taylor and Claremont. Claremont and Taylor. There are 7 male Hispanic gang members throwing gang signs at passerbys. One of the offenders pointed a gun outside of Demenzo's. The offender with the gun was wearing a black ski mask, black sweater, black pants. It's anonymous. Have nothing further on it. 12th District, Zone 3.
There you go. Where's the gun violence department? Where is it?
73, 83 King.
And here.
83 King.
Now you understand why I said Ken Nazaro is the biggest traitor to the cops? He sold them out. Ken Nazaro sold them out. Because he didn't do nothing to stop the migrants. And he took the check. He took the bag. He's a traitor to the labor force. He should be banned for eternity from being anywhere near labor. He's a traitor. Because why? Now the mayor says, well, I'm going to do this. Where's Cantanzaro's statement? Where's Cantanzaro's statement? There ain't none. He's going to go along with the program because he's going to get in the bag. He's selling out the cops. You guys, because you cops need to wise up, man. You're a cop. You might be out of a job in 10, 20 years, man. Your pension might be stripped. That's how they do it. You'll see. You don't know nothing yet. You go look at the old paperwork in the 80s when they stripped all the pensions of people. You need to wise up, man. These are the most dangerous individuals that are running our city, our county, and our state. They want to steal every penny and every dollar you got hidden in your mattress. They're going to find those dollars and those pennies you got. All those pennies you guys got hidden in those mason jars, they're going to find those. You'll see. You'll see.
Unison 2, I got a battery in progress, 1099 East Oakwood, 1099 East Oakwood, domestic related, male black pushing a female black near a white vehicle, Eddie King 25408, male black white shirt, District 2 zone good.
We're going to a double homicide now, way up there. Maybe we'll get Super Dog for dinner. You know Super Dog? Let me grab an apple from my back seat. Oh. I never thought I'd live to be this old and see these things happen in front of my eyes and people let it happen and think it's okay. And that's why they let the crime happen, because people will say anything to help stop the crime. That's why. This is some radio calls. We're going to a double murder now.
One number, please, for 95th Street line, south end.
09493. 09493.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Shooting at Chicago Police Department just happened.
83 item. 83 item. For the red line at Clark.
2nd District Police Station. Somebody was just shot in the parking lot.
09564. 09564.
88 boy. Park in the blue line for a quality of life mission for the next 60 minutes, please.
Alright, sorry, my legs are driving and we're getting a reckless driver. 4830 South Lakeshore Drive, headed southbound. Caller says there's a small blue Honda sedan driving recklessly with a flat tire, last seen headed southbound.
Driving with a flat tire, huh? Going to a double homicide. Where's the 2nd District? I don't know. That just came in. 2nd District shooting. It happened in a parking lot.
First, third engine red line, please.
09591. 09591.
Radio M5. Go on to the Beacon Memorial, please.
09599. 09599.
Thank you. 383 David.
83 David.
Number for 69 red line.
09607. 09607.
There you go. Shooting just happened in the 2nd District Police Station. Parking lot. I don't know where that's at.
For a continuing investigation. I'm sorry, follow-up investigation. Address is going to be 2625 Weatherfield Road in Oakwood.
Drug addicts right there.
37
Alright, we ain't going down there. So we're going in opposite directions. So the homicide is on the complete opposite side of the city, right? So again, that's what we're talking about, right? You're developing a department of gun violence, so what is it going to do? How is it going to do this? That's why you have police departments. That's why you have police districts. That's why you have police areas, and that's why you have police precincts. That's why a big city is divided up like that. You don't have a department of gun violence. So what does that have to do with anything? It has nothing to do with anything. Zero. Nothing. This down in what they're saying is the shooting down in the 2nd District. That's a domestic. The shooting up on where we're going by Norwich is gang related. So what does that have to do with the gun violence department? Nothing. Well, unless you're going to say, oh, gang violence is okay. We don't need the cops to go to gang violence. We're going to let gangs do their own thing. Unless you do that, like harm reduction. You know, that's how harm reduction works. They give out needles and they give out pipes, right? Let's see if they pull this trailer out of here again.
387 Adam.
The trailer's gone, everybody. Ooh, magic. There you go. The trailer's gone, right?
1308. 79 from Laughlin.
Alright, well, there's a shooting in the parking lot there.
896. 09896.
Let's keep moving, right? Crazy, huh? Crazy day. Well, listen to the 6:30 news, huh? So imagine Think about it one more time. I know a lot of people, I repeat myself. I tell you, I was a teacher, so I repeat myself. That's what I did. I had 6 classes a day, so I repeated what I did 6 times. So again, we're going to repeat it before the news comes on so you can hear what they say. Shot spotter don't work. Shut it down. Shut down the detection system. 6 months later, you say, look, shootings are down. Well, yeah, because you're not detecting them anymore, right? Then you say, wow, we're at historic 60-year lows of gun violence. We are doing a great job. We are at a historic gun violence reduction in the city of Chicago. The best. No other city is doing it like we do. He just said it. You're going to hear it on the news. There's a bender right there. You have the worst mass shooting in Chicago's history, right? Mellow Bucks was last year during 4th of July NASCAR. Mellow Bucks, there was 18. There's never been an 18. Man, look at that. They got fire, open fire pits over here. Look at that. They got an open fire right there. See that there? They got a fire pit going there. So on Mellow Bucks, the worst mass shooting. There's never been that many people shot in one space. Al Capone killed the most in one, but not the most shot. Mellow Bucks is the biggest mass shooting in Chicago's history. A gang shooting, right? That's a fact. And we have the biggest shooting inside the loop by the Chicago Theater. That was during the Christmas tree lighting. That was 9. 9 with 2 dead, I believe, or 1 dead. I don't remember it. Never happened inside the loop. 9 shot, 1 dead, and those were teenagers. We have the historic lows. Historic lows, right? Shot spotter off. We don't have that much crime anymore, right? You have another mass shooting. No, sorry about it. Then you have a mass shooting that happens on Juneteenth. That on the internet they say was retaliation for the Mellow Bucks shooting, which was the worst mass shooting in Chicago's history. That's the story on the streets. Less than a week later, you're inventing a new department of gun violence by executive order. That's all just happened just now in front of your own eyes. You need that. You have to internalize. This is perpetuated violence by the government. It's on purpose. They're doing it on purpose to us. I don't know how to stop it. I was thinking about filing a lawsuit or something like that. I don't know how to do that. But I want to stop the mayor. I want a judge, like a federal judge or any judge, to go in and just say, you know what? Temporary restraining order. He can't do no violence stuff because he's the danger, right? He creates danger, right? The way it's like a company, right? Like say McDonald's or something. I don't want to say McDonald's. Say a company does food products, right? They just did that with a company. They just sanctioned them on the plastic stuff. We just heard it yesterday on the news or the day before. They were pumping plastics into the environment. Did you just remember that in the story? It was yesterday or the day before. They sanctioned them. They didn't shut them down. But there's ways you can sanction or shut down companies. So why can't we sanction or shut down Brandon Johnson? If he's creating on purpose violence and endangering everybody in the city, then why can't we somehow remove him from power or limit his power? They put him like in receivership. That's what they do, right? If a company's doing something bad or it's going bankrupt or something's happening, a school isn't functioning or something like that, or even when a person is mentally ill, right? You get into receivership. You have the guardian or something. I don't know what it's called, right? In that. So maybe we can do something like that. I don't know. There's got to be something we can do. That's all I gotta say, because what's happening now in our city is kind of wild. You see that there? There's a guy doing drugs right there, right in front of you. It's all over. So you got double homicides. You have shootings in police stations. And you have a guy saying he's going to create a gun violence department, right? By executive order. And then you got a guy doing drugs right there, right? He's all doped up. See that there? It's right in front of you. Imagine, he's been saying crime is down. So what happened? And there's no reporters, and the reporters aren't going to go against it because the reporters are in the same union as the teachers union. They're both in the CFL. If a reporter goes against the union, then they get kicked out of their own union. They're the Writers Guild. They're either Writers Guild or sometimes it's, I remember I used to sit next to these guys. I used to go to those meetings. They're in the meetings with the teachers union. They're in the same union, CFL, Chicago Federation. If you go against your fellow brother, you get kicked out of the union. That's how they do it. That's why you don't see no news articles against the mayor. You don't hear Alice Yin anymore, do you? Or what's the other guy, Jake? I don't even know if they're still around. Alice Yin. She used to just repeat what he said and make it into a story. Her headline would be his words. Alrighty, we're at Central now, right? Where are we at? Laramie? No, this is Laramie, maybe, right? But we'll take Laramie up. What do you guys think? Or Harlem up? Let's see what it's telling me on my things. 6:32. Oh man, I forgot the news. Oh man, look at that. I'm slipping. We just missed 2 minutes of the news.
The Wiener Circle. For the last 13 years, I served as commissioner and then CEO of the Chicago Housing Authority.
That's where he fought Mayor Johnson's attempt to install former Alderman Walter Burnett as CEO, sparking a lawsuit from the city. Brewer says that experience gave him a front row seat to what he calls dysfunction at City Hall.
For too long, we've been presented with the false choice about Chicago's future.
Brewer's getting into the race just days before Chicago Congressman and longtime politician Mike Quigley is set to launch his candidacy in a Saturday event at the Intel Theater. Jeff Buckles, News Radio 1059, WBBM.
The driving school with several Chicago area locations has been shut down.
State officials forcing a responsible driver to hit the brakes, closing the driving school's locations in both LaGrange and Hinsdale. Illinois Secretary of State's office argued in court earlier this year that Brian Kearney of Willowbrook, the owner of a responsible driver, wasn't being responsible. He's accused of failing to hire valid driving instructors, holding liability insurance on training vehicles or state safety certification, and in some cases, failing to show up to driving classes. Documents obtained by PACS show in one such incident, Kearney told his landlord he overslept, and after asking a judge to delay closing the school, a request that was granted, he failed to show up to the next court hearing. A report from state leaders reads in part, Kearney is engaging in reckless behavior that's putting his students and the general public at risk. Andy Day, News Radio 1059 WBBM.
And people are still recovering from the powerful storms that came through Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana last night. Richard Lukowski had just gone inside with his wife when the rain started and a large tree was uprooted and crashed into this garage.
We were in the house and we heard something, and she looked outside and she said, "Oh, a branch fell," not realizing that it was the whole tree that got uprooted, which is that's crazy. Yeah, we're seeing a lot of trees that got uprooted, and it's insane.
In the meantime, thousands remain without power in Illinois and Indiana after last night's storms knocked down trees and caused widespread damage. A U.S. official has confirmed to ABC News that an Iranian drone has hit a ship in the Strait of Hormuz, pausing the evacuation of ships through the Persian Gulf. In response, the head of the International Maritime Organization says the plan to move stranded ships through the strait will be on hold until the agency can confirm safety guarantees. The report of a strike comes hours after Iran threatened vessels to stop using a UN-approved route through the strait without Tehran's permission. Coming up after the break, we're going to look at those low gas prices. The time now, 6:35.
Let me tell you something. When you sign your insurance policies,
if you're just tuning in, there's a double homicide up all the way by Norwich. That's where we're heading to. And there's also a shooting at the 2nd District Police Station in the parking lot. Two incidents, two opposite sides of the city here. And we've been ranting and raving and doing all of that about our ideas and political stuff too. So in the middle of all of that, and you've been listening to radio calls, so the usual. And this is Hispanic gangs sounds like up here. Did the shooting and got shot. I don't know what crews are up there, so.
Go to supersure.com. One super agency, one powerful platform, all your policies in one place. Go to supersure.com. That's supersure.com.
Paid for by Supersure Insurance Agency, LLC, a licensed insurance agency.
Attention all dog owners. If you have ever listened to the radio or TV for any length of time, you've probably heard of America's #1 dog song.
We might get this is what might happen. We might get up there right to the scene. We'll see what happens. And we'll do the live feed, and it's getting closer to 7 o'clock. So we're going to run it till 7. We'll probably get to the scene at 7 or something like that. And then we'll talk about it, and then we'll shut it down, and then we'll start a live from
211 units in 21 City where I'm getting a couple calls of shots fired. 47 in Michigan. Security guard says 5 to 6 gunshots heard. Then we got another call. Caller said they heard 10 gunshots in the area. 47 in Michigan, District 2 Zone 7.
47 in Michigan. Gunshots heard. There you go, man. Gun violence. Where's the gun violence department? It ain't around. That's ain't preventing gun violence. That's for sure. I'm telling you, that gun violence department is going to do two things. It might be used as a private security detail, and it's going to be used to take away people's guns. That's what I'm thinking now, right? They're going to study something, and they're going to say too many guns in Chicago. We're going to have to take them from people. You'll see. You'll see. That's what I'm thinking.
With no hidden fees. And in West Chicago, the mobile on Roosevelt and Joliet Street has gas for $3.99 per gallon, while in Butterfield, the BP on Illinois 53 and Butterfield Road has gas for $3.84 per gallon. If you see a lower gas price, please give us a call at 312-409-4277. And at 6:38, traffic and weather together on the 8s. Here's Lisa Costi.
Dealing with a crash on the Bishop Ford outbound. You're solid from 150.
Shots fired, 47th in Michigan.
We got eyes on everything. And good tips for us on the WBBM Mercedes-Benz Power States traffic.
Shots fired.
780 road. It's 28 minutes to 8094 inbound zone just fine. The Eden's now 28 minutes in from Lakewood to the junction, outbound 17-minute trip. The Kennedy now 48 minutes in from O'Hare, 28 from the junction. Outbound Derby from the Vernon interchange all the way to Harlem, 28 to Montrose, 46 to O'Hare. The I-90 O'Hare extension eastbound. You're heavy from the terminals to the Tri-State. The Eisenhower now an hour in from the J.
387 Harley.
Outbound heavy from Racine at first.
87 Harley.
56 minutes to the J. Adams.
That number 4, bus ride 63rd and Ash and northbound, bus number 1379.
5 Will County southbound, you are slow from 255 to past
10065.
Outbound side. I-57, just 15 minutes on your way in. Outbound a little slow from the Rhine to past Halstead. It's 17 minutes to I-80. Route 394 is clear for you. DeSable Lakeshore Drive northbound heavy from Roosevelt to Chicago. Southbound heavy from northbound to Chicago. And then 57 to Hayes. The Tri-State still coping with a crash. Southbound, you're stopping up from the Stevenson past the 82nd Street toll plaza. That's blocking a lane there. The Tri-State northbound delays from the Grand Avenue curve to Balmoral. Your next traffic at 6:48 on News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
WBBM AccuWeather will have a partly cloudy sky tonight. We'll get down to 59 for an overnight low. It is going to become increasingly cloudy into tomorrow. We'll have some rain from mid-morning on, particularly from the city on south. A lot of the day may end up dry north of Chicago. It's going to be cooler with a high only near 70. Some clearing tomorrow night, low 60, and then clouds and some sun for Saturday, a high of 78. 79 degrees at O'Hare and at Midway right now, 79 in Melrose Park, 67 at the lakefront, going down to 59 tonight. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Brian Thompson.
Thanks a lot, guys. The time now is 6:40, and young drivers are almost 4 times more likely to get into fatal crashes than those over 21. A program this weekend, the South Suburbs, aims to help drive down those numbers. Nancy Hardy reports.
The Governor's Highway Safety Association found in 2024 fatalities and crashes with young drivers dropped by more than 370 nationwide, and more than 6% from the year before. The group's working with the board to put on teen driving training programs like the one in Madison this weekend. Driver coach Mike Speck says the 4-hour class is hands-on.
We will set up several driving courses. We provide the vehicles, and we do a demonstration lab so they can see what it is that we're looking for. And then they go ahead and drive several laps on their own.
He says for that reason, teens should have some experience behind the wheel first. The class is free, but does require you to register. Nancy Hardy, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
The Kennedy Park pool in Chicago opened today after a faulty liner needed to be fixed.
It was supposed to open last week, but the damage was discovered the day before opening, prompting a delay. The Park District fixed the liner over the weekend and began filling the pool on Monday. That process takes a few days because of testing on the repairs. If you plan on attending, it's recommended to check the schedule because some time slots are reserved for summer camp and senior swim. Justin Richards, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
The Supreme Court has issued two major immigration opinions.
In the first, the High Court is clearing the way for the Trump administration to potentially renew a restrictive immigration policy once used to turn back migrants seeking asylum at the southern border. It's overturned a lower court ruling that blocked the practice of limiting the number of people who could seek asylum each day under both the Obama and first Trump administrations. The justices are also letting the Trump administration end temporary protected status for migrants fleeing violence and natural disasters in Haiti and Syria, exposing hundreds of thousands more people to potential deportation. Sagar Meghani, Washington.
Surging energy prices drove rising inflation again last month. ABC's Jim Ryan says the consumer price index for May was in line with economists' expectations.
The government's favorite measure of inflation was up 0.4% from April to May and 4.1% above May of 2025. Take out the volatile food and energy components, and the PCE showed a more modest increase month to month and year to year. Wall Street's investors fear that inflation would be worse. The major stock
green line
went into today's trading.
You don't see nobody here, right?
Jim Ryan, ABC News.
A lot of cars. That means they might be coming home from
those
work.
Top trending stories is now 6:43.
This November 3rd, the midterm election is more than politics. It's pressing intense.
We're going north now, right? Drugs in this area. We're going to a double homicide scene. That's where we're headed to, double homicide.
10119. 10119.
Let me see if I can get some more information on it. We had a triple shooting in Little Italy. Now we have a double homicide up in by Norwich. Or it looks like Franklin Park, something like that. Double homicide, Cahill. Double homicide, Cahill. Punching it into my search thing here, right?
7385 Charlie.
By now, the mainstream media should have it. There you go. Fox 32 is on it.
101.
First reports were from a scanner feed. Dunning Watch.
Take this moment of a woman getting dressed for an early meeting while her husband's still asleep. Sorry. And now...
It happened at 3:30, so it happened at dismissal of schools. Oh, they were inside of a house.
Bedroom and home storage solutions by designers who get you. California Closets. More room.
Trending stories on WBBMNewsRadio.com.
If you found $12,000 while working at a restaurant, the tip is considered a very generous tip. One man who owns a Thai restaurant tracked down whoever found sunglasses case.
They were shot inside the place up there, and I told you there's a report that there was a shooting inside the same house about 2 years ago. We were just up here the other day, weren't we? Yesterday?
And young rats, they've been found in sewers under major cities in the U.S., with researchers saying they are resistant to popular rat poisons. The mutations aren't caused causing them to grow multiple heads or wings, but researchers say 70% of the rodents had changes to their DNA that made poisons less effective. Further research showed rats with mutations were more vulnerable to poison than common house mice. That's too much information about rats. At 6:46, it's time to visit Lober Motors, Mercedes-Benz in Lincolnwood. And from the sports,
let's list some radio calls, right? And see if we're missing anything on the scanner feeds, right?
Westbound on 79 from Morgan. Units of 22 to add depth and purpose, 9 Southwest Carmen, 9 Southwest Carmen, the white, black shirt, blue shorts, this goes the mail and the packages, and it's sitting in the alley, opening it up now. Nothing further, this is don't worry. 87 Adam, your event number is going to be 09833, 09833.
83 David.
83 David.
469 red line.
09840. 09840. Alright, for my Lakeshore Drive units, we're getting a reckless driver. 4830 South Lakeshore Drive, headed southbound. Caller says there's a small blue Honda sedan driving recklessly with a flat tire. Last seen headed southbound.
240, cycle. 88 Adam.
88 Adam. 387 Adam.
Car number 3218 at Jefferson Park in the blue line, going south. Can we get a vet number, please?
Sir, it is going to be 1017.
83 Charlie.
83 Charlie.
79 red line is that number, please.
09911.
83 Eddie.
83 Eddie.
Together number for Alpha on the 35th clear line.
09926. 09926. 3213. 3213. Your car accident between the sands and the wall. Here, please. Yeah, where are you? 6200 South? 6300 South Lakeshore Drive.
It's bad up here. There's a lot of bad businesses closed here. That bank is closed right there. I did a video up here before. It's Harlem.
On the east side of the expressway.
They got zombies in this area too.
Okay, of course.
I don't think it's in one part of the city. It's everywhere.
09941. 09941.
73.
Alright, I had 2 units.
83
item.
For division.
7341. 099.
Okay,
1020. 10201.
Oh, what about number red line at 69, please?
09954. 099.
See, there's another business shut down. I found that. Remember, I found the abandoned mail up here in back of another bank. There's a couple of banks that are shut down all around.
09962. 09962. 7 Adam. 87 Adam.
Riding bus 8037 eastbound on 79th from Point.
09970. 099. 85 David.
And that's for 9 for the red line. We're going to over at the Garfield red line for quarterly flight efficiency.
Hello, you said 79th Street. 099.
9 at the red line.
Alright, 10210. 10210.
Alright, I got a battery in progress, 4759 South Vincent, 4759 South Vincent. Caller states that a group of people are fighting. District is on 7.
Alright, 85 Adam is Boyd. 09990. 09990.
What, 75th and Vincent, she said?
I get an event over at Park and Lake. I get a number for you, let's see if I'll sit on. Alright, I got a battery in progress, 4759 South Vincent, 4759 South Vincent. Caller states that a group of people are fighting. 735 Adam and Boyd.
85 Adam and Boyd.
Can you get that number for the north side?
10217.
I get a number for you, let's see if I'll sit on the blue.
Group of people fighting, 48 and Vincent. Vincent.
Units in 2 and 3 fire, 47 in Michigan. Security guard says 5 to 6 gunshots heard, and we got another call.
Alright, where in the building?
Vincent.
Okay, that is going to be 10231. 10231.
0231, got it. Another 362. 7362, number for John Box 87 red lane.
One zero one one nine.
385 Charlie.
85 Charlie.
Number for red line 87.
10128. 10128. Images 24 on city reference for the ground 7653 North Ashland, 7653 North Ashland. Cell phone caller says there's 4 males and females drinking in front of the location. The male black one, the black foot, black pants, black shoes, that's gun, that's his gun. Sure, it is going to be 10176. 10176. 5341.
I get one for statement, please.
10201. 10201.
Hi, David.
85 David.
That's for 9 to the red line.
Great, you cut out. You said 79th Street.
the red line. 83 George. Can I get an event over at Clark and Lake?
10-216.
Following bus number 1293.
Get 385 Adams, boy.
Eastbound on 79 from
Okay, check on North 6th.
Peoria.
Can you get the number for the north side?
10217.
Okay, you want to wide? We're going to head into Midway for fuel.
Alright,
88 boy.
88 boy.
To the blue line, we're going to board going east.
Alright, where in the blue line?
Edison, the car 325A was what we're getting down. 389 Adam.
89 Adam.
Number please, Jetty, call 6 please. 231.
Man, there's a classic car show. You see that there? See that there? There they are there with their classic cars. See that there? See the classic cars there? Everybody has a hobby. You see those guys? Those are old guys. They probably did drag racing when they were kids. Now they're hanging out in the parking lot. Whatever. Everybody likes stuff. Music. Some people like cars. Some people like all kinds of stuff. Whatever. Who cares? No department of gun violence is going to stop gun violence. Why? Because then you'll have knife violence. And if you don't have knife violence, you're going to have bat violence. And if you don't have bat violence, you're going to have fist violence. Got it? So that's ridiculous to do that kind of stuff. It's buffoonery, right? And if the city council allows it, then they are part of it, right? And most of them are. Most of them. Susan Mendoza should come out. If she wants to be the next mayor, she should come out and immediately today say it needs to be stopped. We need to block it. We're going to do an injunction, and she should go to court and file an immediate temporary injunction against the establishment of any department that takes away resources from the police. That's what she should do. I advise you, Susan Mendoza, or whoever else is out there, go to court. File for a temporary restraining order, injunction, whatever you want to call it. Get yourself a good lawyer and say, look, this dude's doing whack job stuff. He's whack-a-mole, right? He doesn't know what he's inventing something that don't exist, that's going to endanger the whole city of Chicago by making some other thing that we don't even know what it is, right? No authority. Or is he going to give it authority? Is he going to give it badges and guns? Do they have authority to look into cases, which is illegal under state law? You have to have certain credentials to look at certain cases, blah, 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 right? So that's what she should do. One of you candidates that are running for mayor should go to court tomorrow morning, file an injunction immediately, and stop it. Why? Because it confuses people, and it confuses what's going on, right? We need the police to do their jobs. That's what we need. We don't need no whatever he's inventing so he can, what? Send some money to his political campaign. That's all this is. It's a political campaign stunt. Why? So he can spend money. He's going to hire a bunch of people. He's going to pay a bunch of money, right? Right? He has a budget with it, right? He gives these people money. He's going to hire 2-3 people. They're going to get a couple. Those top people get $200,000 a year. He's going to say, you make sure you do good so I get reelected. If I don't get reelected, you can get fired. That's the first conversation he has with that person is, you need to succeed or you're going to lose your job. I'll give you blah, blah, blah money. You make sure you succeed. That's how it's going to go. 7 o'clock news, then we'll shut it down and we'll restart it at the crime scene, all right? Let's see. What's the 7 o'clock news say, right? 7 o'clock news.
To mail ballots to voters. Judges say that states are the only ones who can oversee elections and call the rules unconstitutional. ABC's Peter Haralambos.
This is the third judge in just 1 week to block elements of President Trump's attempt to increase federal oversight over elections. And at this point, both of his executive orders on elections have been blocked by the courts.
Devastation in Venezuela. A pair of powerful earthquakes leaving at least 188 people dead. Thousands more are missing. Rescuers are trying to recover people from the rubble of collapsed buildings.
This is the terrifying moment two massive back-to-back earthquakes struck Venezuela. The strongest to hit the country in a century. A 7.2 magnitude, followed 39 seconds later by an even stronger 7.5. Buildings collapsing as panicked residents race for cover.
ABC's Victor Oquendo. The U.S. is set to play Turkey tonight in its final World Cup group match. The U.S. already won the group with 2-0 win. Won over Australia Friday. You're listening to it.
I can't raise my arms. I can't climb stairs.
Alright, so we'll listen to the local news and then we'll shut it down. We'll probably pull up to the crime scene and then we'll start a new broadcast from the double homicide. That's where, again, I'm going to read up on what's going on. That way I can give you guys a good report, right? I appreciate everybody watching, right? And then we're going to listen to the local news right now. And then I have already a sunset area over here. Thanks for watching, by the way.
They even have weekend appointments. Call today. Get yours set up. 312-697-1119. 312-697-1119. 312-697-1119. Chicago's news, traffic, and weather station. News Radio 1059 at WBBM News Radio.
It's right in front of us.
The time now is 7:03 on Thursday, June 25th, 2026. Good evening. I'm Glenn Marshall, and currently we're sitting around partly sunny skies, about 79 degrees here in Chicago. It's going to get down to a low of 59 tonight, but tomorrow it's going to become cloudy with some rain from mid-morning on, particularly from the city on south. It's going to be cooler, with high only near 70 degrees. Tomorrow night, though, turning out partly cloudy with a low near 60. Of course, we're going to look at that AccuWeather 5-day forecast. That's coming up at 7:15, but right now, our top local story on News Radio WBBM. Chicago Mayor Brendan Johnson says his latest executive order creating a formal office dedicated to reducing gun violence is designed to improve the city's public safety response. WBBM political editor Jeff Buckles has the details.
Many different departments do similar things.
And the mayor tells me the creation of the Mayor's Office of Gun Violence Reduction is designed to streamline and integrate all of those safety-related activities.
It's going to allow for an advisory council to have the type of...
While he's talking, here's a double homicide right here, right?
Government far more nimble.
And city
Double
council
homicide.
to consider an ordinance soon that would make the office a cabinet-level department.
SubX.News.
Streets and sand or transportation. The mayor says he supports that.
Double
Where do you
homicide.
find the money for this kind of an approach?
I'm going to continue to work with city council, the state legislature, and every level of government to challenge these big corporations to put more skin in the game, because it's a matter of life and death.
Deputy Mayor for Community Safety Emmanuel Andre will lead the office.
SubX.News, double homicide here.
News Radio 1059. WBBM.
On Cahill.
Chicago aldermen heard today from the leaders of a private equity group that's poised to pay more than $2.5 billion to take over the city's parking meters.
There you go. All right, we're going to pull over here. We're going to figure out our orientation and then give you the full report from the scene. We'll give you whatever details we can, all right? I appreciate everybody watching. It's 7:05 p.m. SubX News, we're signing off. We'll get back on in a second.